Alright, we'll start this over. A fork in the road. For fuck's sake. Alright, that was just warming. That was just a warm-up. My breath came fast and ragged, as if it were determined not to lose the race with my lungs. My heart pounded frantically. Run faster, woman. Princess, take my hand. Sheesh, they're stubborn. Hey, you! Do you know what Buddha will do to you if you fire arrows at a monk, you heathen? But this isn't the time for that. This is absurd. The moment that dawn had broken and visibility had improved, they had started firing at us from 3 sides. We could not stand against this unexpected attack. It was all we could do, just to run. This is not good. What? We're running in the one direction that the arrows aren't coming from, but maybe that's what they want us to do. I was worried about that as well. Muneshige, what's up ahead? Once we get out of the forest, there's a path through some open woodland, and then bare rocks. There's no place to hide. It looks like I'm right. What is it? We're gonna end up looking like porcupines if we don't hurry up and run. Yo, buy me some time. Okay, I keep these handy for times like this. Ta-da! Yo pulled something out of his shirt. What are those gold balls? Smiling sweetly, he tossed those gold-colored balls in the direction that we had come. Stop it! It is kind of anime, but it's great. It's great, Zen. It's great. There was an incredible noise, and in a split second, the air around us was filled with smoke. I began to cough. Yo! Yo, this was a bit... What? Did I go overboard? For the moment, let's move to the left. Follow me. It's no good. I can't see a thing. You don't like the smoke, man. But you're always so happy to blow smoke up other people's. Yo, this isn't the time to take jabs at me. I can't see. No helping it then. I'll hold your hand, Grandpa. Oh, thank you, Sonny. By which I mean, who are you calling Grandpa? This is not a good situation. My eyes still sting, you lunatic brat. But I saved you, so what's the big deal, you creepy exhibitionist? What did you say, Mr. Gym Shorts? They're not gym shorts. They're capris. Capris! Either way, they're severely unfashionable. Hysterically so. Gym shorts are for kids. Capris are for adults. You're such a fossil because you don't know stuff like that. Let me get you some prunes or something, Grandpa. Oh, thank you, Sonny. By which I mean, don't treat me like an old man. Ah, man. You've got a white hair. No way! No! Your hair is entirely white, isn't it? Oh, right. You jerk. It's not white, it's silver. Shh. Quiet down. We just got away from our pursuers, and all you can do is run your mouths. The enemy will find us again. Yeah, hush up. It's your fault. Man, quiet. $7. What? What is this? I think something happened with the script, because this don't mean nothing. We have shaken the pursuit for the moment, but we have to decide what to do next. Any ideas, Muneshige? No cute moms, no watch. Well, don't worry. The next visual novel I'll play will have cute moms in it, but it'll be a while. The enemies are not the only ones who can make a surprise attack. I think we should set up an aggressive defense. An aggressive defense? In the present situation, the pieces in our hand are 1 queen and 6 knights. Victory is contingent upon delivering the queen to the castle. I guess I would be the queen. Yes. We must think of effective use of the knights as the key to victory. I'll leave the thinking to you. So, what do we do? We split the knights into 3 teams of 2 each, and have them perform the tasks that they were assigned. 1 group to escort the queen, and 1 to act as a decoy, and then 1 to guard the rear. Precisely. The enemy expects us to act as a group. That is the weakness we will use against them. Weakness. The rear guard will stay here and hold off the enemy for as long as they can to buy some time for the other groups. If the enemy breaks through and comes after us, the next two people will act as the decoy and lure the enemy away from the main group. While the enemy is expending effort on this group, the main group will guard the queen and bring her back to the castle. I understand your thinking, but the enemy also has separate squadrons, and they have us surrounded. If one of these smaller groups is attacked, then it's out. The end. Game over. So I say we 6 knights face our enemy in a decisive battle and meet an honorable end. We should cut our way through as many of them as we can. I prefer to choose the place where I die instead of just running away. Besides, the 6 of us are a match for many men. We can't be certain that we'd lose. Well, you could think about it like that. Hitosai, this is not a game. We must avoid the sort of danger that would mean throwing our lives away. So, what do we do? I'll go with everybody else's decision. Princess, what do you think? What, me? Yes, I too would like to hear the princess's opinion. The princesses are great generalissimo, after all. What do you think we should do? I think... Oh shit. Fuck. Munishige's plan. Understood. Then, let us follow my plan. But we shouldn't just go with my opinion. I think it would be good if we decided together. Either way, this is the only decision we can make. You're worrying about us again, aren't you, miss? You don't need to. We're here because we're supposed to protect you after all. Exactly. And besides, I'm not exactly planning on lying down and dying. No matter who's after us. I'll give as good as I get. Princess, this may be the final farewell for some of us. Whatever happens, you must stay alive. Just me. All this so that just I could survive. Ha! So how are we going to split up? I'll go with you, because who knows what will happen if I don't keep an eye on you. It's my responsibility. What? Because you failed to finish me off? Ha! You do know that if you're with me, you'll need to watch your back, right? I'm not going to let you do anything funny. Then should I do what you're expecting me to, right here and now? I'd be perfectly happy to. Stop it. You can't protect the princess if you're going to be busy stabbing each other in the back. I'll go with Hitosai. I assume you have no objections. Ha! Anyone is fine. Bo, you... Well, I think that worked out well enough. Yo, you're with me, right? Me? Why? I think I should go with Jin. What's the problem? I think you and I get on quite well. We do nothing of the sort. That means I will be with Jin then. Looks like I'm counting on you, Munoshige. Wait a second. This discussion's not over yet. Give it up. It's your destiny to be with me, yo. Snuggle, snuggle. Worst destiny ever. Stop it. Don't you snuggle me. And now we must ask which group the princess will go with. Munoshige, are you the princess's guardian? Or you are the princess's guardian. It is your job to escort her to the castle, no? Indeed. However, you have also been charged with guarding the princess by Sir Hanawa. We are all equals, doing the same job. Huh? Well then... Huh? Was he asking me? What was I going to do? Everybody was looking at me like they expected me to make a decision. Did they? If that was the case, I couldn't choose. There was just no way. How could I put people's lives in danger like that? I couldn't do it. I understand, miss. Huh? I would not ask you to force yourself to decide. In this case, I think the most reasonable choice would be for you to go with me and Jin. Right! Leave it to me! Then I will be in the rear. No, Mon and I will do that. Are you going to get in my way, brat? The purpose of the rear guard is to slow the enemy down, no? Yes, precisely so. In order not to let the ninjas who are pursuing us get any further, I think that we need to have as much mobility as possible. And who here is more mobile than I am? I can't imagine that your partner is particularly mobile, though. Huh, me? If we want both members of the teams to be effective, shouldn't we choose somebody else? Well, you weren't there, Hitosai, so you might not know, but when Mon carried the lady on his back while he was running, he was like a wild ape man. He wasn't just like a wild ape man. He was one. practically a gorilla. Ow! What are you doing, you jerk? The violence of words is no less than the violence of fists. This is what the Buddha teaches us. Liar. That hurts. You can't control your strength either. I'm going to get a huge lump. Well, that settles that. We'll be the rear guard. I have no objections, but what do you think, Mon? Me? If Yo says he's staying behind, then I too will do my best to guard the rear. Do what you like. Then I'll count on Bo and Ito-sai to be the decoys. Understood. It's not what I'm most suited for, but fine. So, that's what we'll do then, miss. This is where we say goodbye, but you have to keep doing your best, okay? Huh? I knew somebody had to stay behind, but I couldn't believe Yo was going to be the first one to leave us. If you keep making that face, Princess, the people staying behind will start to feel regretful as well. But isn't it dangerous to be the rear guard? Well, yeah, but every other position is just as dangerous too. So let's part with a smile. We'll do our best to buy you time, so you need to use that time to get as close to the castle as you can. Don't do anything reckless, Yo. If I'm not reckless, I wouldn't be much of a guard, would I? I guess so. Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I made you sad, didn't I? Don't cry. I thought my eyes spilled over with tears. Hey, Yo! I didn't mean to make her cry. Don't worry, Princess. Yo has me with him, after all. Mon ruffled Yo's soft-looking hair, and Yo immediately started to pout. Hey, don't treat me like a kid. Mon laughed heartily. They really did get along well, those two. If they were together, they would look out for each other and make it back to the castle safely. Even as I was crying, I smiled just a little. More importantly, you have a long way to go. We can't have you starting out tired. What would you say to my secret foot massage? I would be in your debt. Well then, one massage, please. Well, I was asking the princess, but... Damn it, Munishige! Seriously. Oh, hold on. My chat went away. Oh, there we go. Okay. The massage you gave me in the bath last night felt so good. Oh, so you're saying that already your body can't forget it? Not for as long as I live. It must be karma. Ha 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 ha. The way the two of them were laughing was pretty weird. But still, I could feel myself starting to calm down. I was sure they were trying to make me smile. Thank you, Mon Muneshige. Their kindness touched my heart. Does that feel good? Do you like that? Do you like that, baby? No! What am I doing? Oh yes, more! Give it to me! Forget what I just said. These two were just amusing themselves. I was positive. Yo, you'll need to watch our backs. But if things get dangerous, retreat. I'll be fine, Jin. You're generally a bit more together than I am. And you're a shrewd one too, so I don't need to worry. Shrewd is going a bit far. But there are certain times when you suddenly become serious, you know. Exactly. That's what worries me. Anyway, I'm counting on you to keep your promise. What was that again? You've forgotten already? The party! Oh, the one that I was supposed to go to instead of you, which is what led up to all of this. You'd better follow through. I thought you'd forgotten about that. How could I? So, you have to make it back to the castle. We'll go ahead and wait for you there. Right, I know. Hey, if we're going to stand here forever saying our farewells, then there's no point in leaving behind a rear guard, is there? What a jerk. But what he says is true. We should hurry ahead. Yo, farewell. Let's meet again, Mon. Right. Yeah. Yo, Mon, may the fortunes of war be with you. Jin, Munishige, we're trusting you with the princess. When we get back to the castle, we're going to have... a party? A manly celebration of our pride. That. Mochizuki Man Festival 1850. Oh yeah, rock the kibosh. The Kasbah. No, rock the Kasbah. Raise the roof. Whoa. He turned back into a wild animal again. Maybe it would be better if you two didn't come back. Maybe. So, everyone, we should get going. Very well. Yo and Mon smiled widely. They were wonderful smiles, joking and a little bit shy. I had never seen anyone smile like that before. I wasn't Hatsuhime, but right now I had to be her. I had to be the sort of person whom all these people would protect. I wanted to be strong like Hatsuhime. At the very least, I wanted to do the one thing I could do, and that was stay alive. I was determined to do it. I would give this everything I had. Princess, I swear I'm going to get back to the castle. Yes. I couldn't look back. I could only go forward. I was not going to be beaten. You seem pretty cool all of a sudden, Princess. Now that's the princess of the Mochizuki I know. While Yo and Mon are buying us time, let's move ahead, even if just a little. Yes. Suddenly a shout rang out behind me. I could hear the sound of metal striking metal. Something stirred in my heart. I felt like my chest might crack open from the worry. Oh, that's a nice sound. It gets my blood flowing. Why are you always so... Princess, we have to focus on running now. But, yes. Yo, Mon, I wouldn't lose. Because at the end of this road I was running down, I would see their smiling faces again. I just had to believe. Is there no news of Hatsuhime's whereabouts? At the same time in Kitahama Castle, Haramoto Ono waited impatiently for any information. He had imagined the matter could be easily dealt with, but the appearance of Yo-Jin-Bo had prolonged matters greatly. Haramoto's face, cool and collected though it was flushed with impatience. He had played every card he had in his hand. He wanted to rush out more soldiers, but this was not a coup d'etat. It was an assassination. Even if his plan succeeded, his efforts would be meaningless if he were recognized as the man behind the curtain. He had every intention of setting up somebody else to take the blame. And so, this had to be done very carefully, so that nothing would leak to the outside. He could only use people he trusted completely for the actual deed. It was a simple plan. If he eliminated one of the two possible options, then naturally the remaining option would be chosen. With Hatsuhime gone, the Lord would almost certainly make Matsuchiyo his successor, and when Matsuchiyo took over, his supporter Haramoto would become his chief minister and hold the real power in the clan. There was one prerequisite: Hatsuhime's death. Brother, there's no need to be upset. Even if your ninjas let them through, I will be there to cut them to pieces. I know that, but... Nobumasa, are you not concerned? If we fail, we will be first-class criminals. Our entire family will be punished. We won't fail. Has even one of your plans ever ended in failure? Even if heaven abandons us, I would gladly go to hell for your sake, brother. How reassuring, Nobumasa. When his younger brother, so different from him in every way, had finished speaking, Haramoto closed his eyes. He could guess what thoughts stirred in his breast. His cold face offered no hint. Opening his eyes suddenly, Haramoto pressed his thin lips in the shape of a smile and beckoned to his brother with his hand. Well then, I will put you to work to your heart's content. Get closer to the action and put the plan in motion. Yes. Do you understand? Once you leave this castle, I don't want to see you again unless you are carrying Hatsuhime's head. Understood. I will not disappoint you, brother. Standing before his older brother, Nobumasa nodded vehemently. Uh-oh. So, now we gotta deal with Kasumi Maru and Nobumasa. Fuck's sake. Alright. I don't know how we're gonna get through this. Okay. Next chapter. Ooh, mission to survive. All I could hear was the pounding of our footsteps. That and the sound of my breath in my ears. For a while I was completely absorbed in running, but behind me I could hear Yo and Man's voices as they fought. The wind rustled through the leaves, and before I knew it, every last sound of them had been carried away by the wind. Yo, Man. Without thinking, I stopped and looked back. What is it, Princess? I can't hear them. Huh? Oh, it's alright. I can hear them, and they're putting up quite a fight. Anyway, let's hurry on. Yeah. Muneshige, what's up ahead? The road splits into two. One way connects directly to the highway. The other goes up a mountain before coming out on the highway. Now we want to get out on the highway, right? No, that way is downhill and would work to the enemy's advantage. It will take some time, but we should go up the mountain. Well then, Idasai and I will take the other path and draw away as many of our enemies as we can. We're counting on you, Bo, Idasai. Yes. Ha! Looks like I can have some fun at last. I can see it is. I can see it. There it is. We were almost at the fork in the road. Well then, Jin and Muneshige, this is where we say goodbye. Be careful, Bo. Yes. Bo, I would never have imagined that I would meet a samurai like you wandering in the wild. I hope I will be able to share a drink with you later at the castle. I, too, would like you to teach me more about your path as a samurai. Please be safe. I look forward to seeing you again. As do I. Well then, please excuse us. Bye. Later, Princess. Princess? Princess, did something happen? Oh, no, I'm fine. You look pale. I'm not really. I was tired, yes, but that wasn't the only reason. You were so energetic just a while ago. What is it all of a sudden? Muneshige, is one princess so very important? Princess, well, what is it? Sacrificing other people just to save my life. Is that really alright? That's what I thought when I couldn't hear Yo and Man fighting anymore. Am I really worth this much? It looks like you realized it at last. Idosai! All life is equal. All living things are equally worthless. You jerk! What are you trying to say? Nothing. I'm just telling the truth. When people talk about it, they all make the same noises. Life is precious. Life is worth more than the world itself. Do not look lightly upon life. They're all hypocrites. Throughout all of history, somewhere in the world, tens of thousands of people have starved to death every single day. People know this, but still, they pay it no mind and go right on living. They worry more about how their hair looks before they go out. Do you understand? You can't always think about what's going on in distant countries. Exactly, and if that is the case, what good does it do to simply go around insisting that life is precious? That's what I want to know. You idiot! Even if you're not thinking about other countries, your own life is precious, right? One life is all you get. Incorrect. It is because you only have one life that you can treat it lightly. After all, it's not life if there isn't also death. But nowadays, there are more and more people who don't even know if they're alive or dead because of their half-baked ideals. You can only understand if you treat your life lightly. The impermanence of life, the vicissitudes of life, these are what most appeal to me. Life is nothing. You think I'd agree with the reasoning of a bloodthirsty lunatic like you? What a limited man you are. I pity you your lack of education. What did you say? Jin, what are you doing, starting a fight with your ally? And Idosai, you shut your mouth, too. Princess, I know you were very upset by our current situation, but please understand. Is what I'm saying wrong? No, it is not. But there is also a great deal of value simply in protecting you. But is it more valuable than Yo's life? You must understand, you cannot compare. Answer the question! Bo and Idosai, people we're about to part with. Is my life worth more than theirs? Yo-Jin-Bo, Idosai, Muneshige, even myself, we all accepted this mission and so came here. All we are doing is seeing that this mission through to the end. That doesn't answer my question, does it? Like Muneshige said, life is not something that can be compared to anything else. It is my duty to protect you, Princess. Even if I must risk my life, I will fulfill my duty. There is nothing beyond that. That's not what I want to hear. Enough already! Jin yelled this loudly. Stop joking around! You want to know whose life is worth more or less? Jin. Bo stepped in to hold him back. Well then, I'll tell you, your life and Yo's life, they're both the same, both worth the same thing. But do you know how many lives it has already cost just to save you? Not just your allies, your enemies too. They must have had parents and siblings too, you know. Don't you know that every life lost in protecting you has the same value? Don't you know the importance of all the people who keep disappearing? It's not just about you, Princess. This warrior society you live in, it only exists because there are people whose rights have been trampled. How could you not know? Damn. Jin, don't you think it's strange? Whenever there's a famine, it's only the peasants who die. The very same peasants who grow the rice first. But the big important samurai don't die, especially you, Princess. Have you ever gone hungry even once in your life? The samurai don't spare a thought for the lives of the peasants. But still, their lives are equal to yours. They have parents and siblings just like you do. They hope for a happier tomorrow just like you. Think for a bit about how many sacrifices have been made just so you can be standing here now. If you don't, all the people who died will never rest in peace. Jin, I actually didn't expect that from him. Yo's life and Monmon's life and your life, they're all the same. Nothing's different. But because there's somebody who thinks that your life is irreplaceable, we're here fighting to protect you. If you say you appreciate the value of our lives, then you need to stay alive yourself. Yeah, he's definitely right. I'm just a turd. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe I've been spoiled. Ugh. Hitosai. So the little girl raised in a glass bubble has finally learned the value of life. I'm crying. Hitosai, sadly for you, you have nothing that is precious to you. That is why you value your life so lightly. Huh. What could you possibly know of me? But by all means, keep giving me advice if you're looking for a lethal injury. So, you've come out and said it. My sword isn't blunt anymore, you know. Ha! How interesting. Please, will you stop? You two really don't get along. It's a good thing you didn't end up paired with each other. What was I supposed to do? I couldn't just accept this blindly. That would be impossible. The knowledge that people might have to throw away their lives for me was too heavy to bear. But Jin had ordered me to accept that burden. He had told me that my life was inextricably linked to the lives of others. I had to accept that and be grateful and keep moving ahead. But I wasn't prepared to shoulder a burden so heavy. In fact, all I wanted to do was run away. I was filled with sorrow and I just wanted to turn and flee. But that would solve nothing. Me, Hatsuhime, everybody. We all had to overcome these circumstances and keep going. All the way to the castle. Have you calmed down, Princess? Yes. Well then, Princess, let us meet again at the castle. And when we do, I would like to dance with you. Shall we dance? Bo raised my hand and kissed it lightly. Yes. Gladly. Like usual, you're a total snob. Now don't be jealous. This is just a little motivation for me to fight. Princess, don't forget Hitosai. Yes, I don't need you to worry for me. You'll just tire yourself out. Please be safe. Kiss. What? To kiss? Standing up on tiptoe, I kissed him lightly on the cheek. What? What? You just... Princess, have you gone mad? Ugh. That wasn't what I was supposed to do? What do you mean, Princess? I was giving Hitosai motivation to fight. No, that's not what I meant. I meant to say goodbye. Kiss. No kiss. Okay, I'm just gonna start calling BB10 Muneshige. Look! You were trying to motivate him, but he's turned into a moaning zombie. He's useless like this. But now that I think about it, I don't think I'm going to do any more work if I don't get a kiss. What are you saying to the princess? And after you just made that fervent speech about the value of life. But what about me? I just can't keep going anymore. I feel the same way. Think about my achy breaky heart. How could Ito-sai get something like that after being so terrible to the princess? Princess, I would like some motivation as well. No. After we parted with Bo and Ito-sai, not one of us spoke a word. There was only Muneshige running ahead in the front and me being pulled along by the hand, and Jim behind us. Our rhythmic footsteps were the only thing I could hear. As the path became steeper, the trees thinned out, with huge boulders taking their place. The path narrowed, and there were times when we were walking between two cliff walls. I was panting. Nobody answered. I'm sorry, but... Did you call me? Muneshige stopped and looked back at me. His tone was cold and formal. The place we're going, is it much further? I wonder. A barely motivated person like me couldn't really tell you. It was pretty obvious that he was sulking. Jin? What, me? Jin, a moment, please. When I tried to speak with Jin, Muneshige beckoned him over and started whispering to him. I had a bad feeling about this. You must not be friendly and gentle with her, understand? But isn't she your princess? Just a little while ago, I finally realized that my methods of educating the princess had been wholly incorrect. The thing where she kissed Ito-sai, right? Don't say kiss. I don't want to hear that word. It burns my ears, my poor bleeding ears. Muneshige, are you alright? I'm telling you, I'm just gonna start calling BB10 Muneshige. Fine. But this time when I tried to talk to Jin, Muneshige shot him a meaningful glance. No fraternizing. I know. Muneshige didn't get a kiss earlier, and he's so upset that he's even ruining the character image he's been building up until now. He's really sulking. Oh. I'd usually be the one who acts all immature in a situation like this, but he got there first. Although I do kind of understand how he's feeling. Oh. And to think that it was Ito-sai you did that with. Should I apologize? No, that's not it. A spade is a spade, and a horse is a horse, of course. That's enough. That's tough to say. A horse is a horse, of course. What? Oh, unless he's Mr. Ed. What? Oh, like a werehorse or something. Wait, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I mean is, maybe a kiss is a kiss. A kiss? Is that what Muneshige said? Muneshige was very obviously craning his neck in our direction. No, that's what I think. So that's my, personal opinion. Are you asking me or telling something? Are you not sure or something? No, it's just came out that way. Anyway, I was just thinking it might be nice if you gave him a kiss. But like I said before, I know, but you know, that man doesn't have much longer to live. I can understand living for your work, but it must be tough to be middle-aged and alone, not knowing if anything good is ahead of you, finding out it's not. Muneshige was waving his hand at us. I think he's calling you. Who, me? Jin moved back towards Muneshige. What is it? Things were just starting to go well. Things were not going well at all. You're only talking about my bad points. I thought we should play the sympathy card. Why would I need her sympathy? Because girls are weak against that sort of thing? That's a fantasy. We must attack more realistically. For example? For example, tell her I have money, or something. It's extremely realistic. No dreams or fantasy, nothing. Realistic enough that it makes you wonder if this is a documentary game. Documentary game? I don't actually know if the genre exists, but Documentary game? Forget it, don't get hung up on that. At any rate, right now I'm batting 0. What's the problem? I'm doing this for you. And I'm counting on you. Jin came back towards me. Jin is a horrible wingman. He's a horrible wingman. He's been saving up his pennies, though. Pennies? Muneshige was waving at Jin. He's calling you again. Once more, Jin walked back over to Muneshige. What is it? I was getting a good vibe there. What's with the pennies? They're kind of money. I know, you idiot. Did you just call me an idiot? I did. What do you make of that, idiot? That's the second time. Not even my mother called me that. And I'll keep saying it until my burning rage dissipates. I try to do something nice for somebody and I get walked all over. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're being called. She's your princess. What's with that attitude? Sheesh. Jin stalked back towards me yet again. What is it, princess? When I move my leg like this, it gets all hot. Let me have a look. Jin hastily bent down over my feet. It's right below my calf. He lifted the hem of my kimono. Muneshige stood watching from a distance. Damn, now what's going on here? He looked like he was in an even worse mood now. This is bad. It's a snake bite. Lie down. There we go. Actually, I think the route split off into like 2 of the guys. So this is kind of a sub route. So you get this sub route whenever you're if you're romancing either Jin or Muneshige. So what? Hurry. Okay. I lay down in a rather unnatural posture. When I did, oh boy. Close your eyes, BB10. Close your eyes. I could feel Jin's soft lips on my hot ankle. Was he sucking the poison out? Suck spit. Jin was frantically trying to suck the poison out. Nonetheless, when I looked down at his face, I was embarrassed, and I pressed down on my kimono with my hands so that the hem did not ride up. He was doing this to save me. It wasn't like he had some ulterior motive or anything, so why was my heart beating so fast? Not good. Has the poison started to circulate? Your face is red. Are you alright? What? Yeah. It hurt. The strong suction was really painful. And then Jin stuck out his tongue and licked the wound. It tickled. All of my nerve endings seemed to be concentrated in that one place. Alright, I think I got all the poison out, but just to be safe... Jin tore violently at the pushed-up hem of my kimono. Ah! We're going to tie a tourniquet around your knees so the poison doesn't circulate. Here, spread your legs. Oh, God. Before I could even say yes or no, he positioned himself between my legs. What? No! What is it? But it was just too embarrassing. I felt like my cheeks were turning so red that they might spontaneously combust. No! Hurry up! No, not in a place like this. What? Muneshige was striding over towards us with long steps. I was ignoring the princess, but this behavior is just too much. A girl just about to be married, and in broad daylight. Ah, good timing. Hold up her knee, okay? What? The princess was bitten by a snake. You should have said that earlier. While Muneshige held up my leg, Jin briskly tied a tight tourniquet just above my knee. Ow, that hurts. Be a bit more gentle. If I don't tie it tightly, there's no point. Try to endure it, princess. There, that should do it. The tourniquet bit into my thigh, stopping the blood. It looked like a purple bruise was already forming. This is my fault. Even though I was old enough to know better, I was throwing a tantrum. This is a punishment from God. Princess, I beg your pardon. If I had been by your side, you would never have been bitten by any snake. There's no helping it. It was just bad luck. Even if you'd been right there when you're bitten by a snake, you're bitten by a snake. But if, by some chance, this puts her life in danger, I was raised in the mountains, and I'm telling you, it's okay, so don't worry about it. I sucked out all the poison and put on a tourniquet so it won't spread. She might have a fever tonight, but tomorrow she'll be as good as new. I am in your debt. You have saved the princess's life, Jin. Oh, don't exaggerate. I am telling you the truth, and still, to think that I called you an idiot. How disgraceful. Please hit me, Jin. Huh? You don't have to go that far. No, I did not know that you were administering first aid, and I imagined something untoward. I was terribly unfair to you, so please hit me. I see. Well then, I suppose I need to get hit too. Why? When I was between the princess's legs, I was supposed to be giving her first aid, but for a moment I felt strange. So, I felt the same way, Jin. Well, you are a young man. I suppose there's no helping that sort of thing. And somewhere in my heart, I was jealous of you maybe getting a kiss. Not that I interfered on purpose or anything. You scoundrel! Ow! Ow! Now, princess, let us leave this man alone and rest on those rocks. The sun is already starting to set. Unishige gave me his hand and pulled me to my feet. What about Jin? He's not going to die from a hit like that. The wounds on my heart are more serious. I understand that he could not help having improper feelings for you, but to betray the trust of a fellow man, it is a crack in the badge of our friendship. A stain on the banner of our camaraderie. A chip on the limited edition memorial plate of our rapport. But still, mistakes have been made on all our parts. Stop it, Unishige. It seemed like maybe he was apologizing, but to whom? But anyway, you said that a person can't help having improper feelings. Does that mean you feel that way yourself? No. Well, I don't. Not at all. It's just, oh dear. Maybe I should take this chance to get back at him for punishing me by ignoring me earlier. Say it clearly. Well, I am very sorry. I see. It's just, well, you have a certain charisma, princess. Please forgive the sins I have committed because of your beauty. All right, you apologized, so I'll forgive you. Thank you so very much. I feel much better now. But next time you start having these improper feelings, give me some sort of sign, okay? No, that would be... You don't want to? No. But that's no good. Very well, I will let you know. So, what manner of signal do you wish me to give you? Lift up your index finger and your pinky. Oh, the horns. Understood. So, it's a promise, right? Yes. Ah, his eyes were swimming. Unishige was a pretty easy man to figure out. Ow, that hurt! I think I saw stars. So, now it's my turn to hit you, right? That was just a small part of my revenge. I hit you because you betrayed our friendship. Huh? What are you talking about? Is this one of those things where nice guys finish last? In exchange, the next time you have a problem with me, you are free to hit me. It's the principle of equivalent exchange, just like in alchemy. Oh, I see. What the hell am I agreeing to here? Don't try to trick me. Come back here, you coward. I'm going to knock the living daylights out of you. Come, princess, let us go. All right. Is this really okay? It's best for him to learn these things when he is young. The world is not a fair place as fair a place as he thinks it is. Jin really was a nice guy. It made me feel a bit sorry for him. Oh, running away, are you? Yeah, they're gonna be beating the shit out of each other. Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. I think we're getting still. Oh, see, I didn't even know that was a Full Metal Alchemist reference, but whatever. Okay. Alright. Moment of decision. Oh. I was hot. It hurt to breathe. I just couldn't seem to get enough air. It felt like something was blocking the back of my throat. Princess. I opened my eyes so I could respond to whomever was calling me. Have you regained consciousness? There must be some snake poison left in your system. You are having a nightmare. Does it hurt anywhere? It's a bit difficult to breathe, but I'm fine. If you need anything, do not hesitate to call me. Please, have some water. When he said this, I realized that I was in fact very thirsty, probably because of the fever. The water was delicious. Thank you. If you are comfortable now, you should sleep for a little bit more. Yes. In the morning, we'll check on your wound again. My wound? No, don't touch it. I know it bothers you, but you have to bear with it. The pain's not that bad. I feel like I have a bit of a fever, though. Good. I hope it doesn't get infected. In any case, we'll look at it in the morning, so for now, you should rest. Okay. Supported by his gentle hands, I started to lie down again, and then I realized Jin wasn't there. Where's Jin? He is standing watch. I could vaguely see Jin's shadow moving outside of the cave. It is thanks to Jin's treatment that this did not become a more serious problem. Yes, I know. A vivid memory of what had happened just after I'd been bitten by the snake flashed through my mind. Please sleep now. It will be morning soon. If you don't sleep, you will become weak. Yes. Oh no, I'm thanking Jim properly. Thanking him properly. I'm just going to thank Jin. Thank you. I'm just going to say thank you to Jin. Muneshige protested, telling me it would be better not to move, but still, I really wanted to say thank you. When I heaved myself up and stood, my legs felt unsteady, not because of the wound, but because of the fever. I wasn't listening to what Muneshige said, and he seemed to have given up. I'll be done in a moment. Besides, I want to get a breath of fresh air. Well, a change of pace might be good for you. Understood. Saying this, he moved into a corner of the cave, where he curled up and began to sleep. As if I were being beckoned by the moonlight, I stepped outside. Jin? Oh, Princess. Is it okay for you to be moving around so soon? Yes, I was feeling a bit feverish, so I came to get some fresh air. I see. Maybe you should sit down for a bit. It's a beautiful moonlit night. Yes, it is. I could hear the crickets calling. At a time like this, you almost forget that there are people after us. Yes. Yeah? I'm very grateful for what you did today. I know I never thanked you properly. Stop. I get all embarrassed when you say stuff like that. And I also wanted to say I was sorry. Huh? Why? Today, I threw a bit of a tantrum. It had been when we were parting with Bo and Idosai, beset by a sense of uselessness and powerlessness. I had said some very unpleasant things without thinking. In the end, I'm just not prepared for any of this. I wanted things to be easy again, so I started talking like that, and caused trouble. You don't need to blame yourself that much. Given the circumstances, I think you're really handling things well and doing your best. You really think so? I do. Have some self-confidence, okay? You'll be fine. A fine heir to the Mochizuki clan. I guarantee it. As if in a trance, I looked up at Jin's profile, which was turned towards the moon. Well, the truth is, I hate samurai. Huh? But Jin, you're a samurai myself? Yes. But I don't like them. I'm not saying I hate Bo or Muneshige or anything. It's just they say a few words and then with a smug look they cut open their own stomachs. They die bravely and I just don't understand it. Even if I wanted to do that, I couldn't be brave about it. If I had even this tiniest opportunity, I'd start kicking and screaming. Isn't that pathetic? No, it's okay. However pathetic it is, however shameful, as long as I'm still alive, it's alright. Right? Yeah? A long time ago. Yeah? A long time ago, there was a certain peasant family, and a man from the government visited them to collect tribute. That family was like a picture of poverty. They were sharecroppers with lots of children. The harvest that year had been poor, and another baby had just been born. They tried to save something for themselves, even if it was only a little bit, but they couldn't fool the official. Instead, they made him angry, and he stormed into the house, looking to see if they had anything else hidden. Soon enough, he found a little bit of rice hidden inside the dirt wall. The government official could not forgive this. And then, the father of the family, he knelt and pressed his forehead to the bare ground. "Please, let us have this," he said, getting mud on himself as he kowtowed. "We have nothing to eat but millet, so please." So my wife can barely make milk. That rice is for the baby. Is it millet or millet? I don't know. Do you think the official could ever have mistaken that man for a samurai? Of course not. He was disgraceful. He kept right on kneeling. I've hated that man for a long time. I despised him for being filthy, for having no pride. Who would want to be someone like that? You're wrong. That man knew what he had to protect. I think he was strong. To sacrifice your honor and pride for the people you love? That's incredible. I see. Recently, I've started to realize that myself. So you're allowed to worry too, Princess. When you run up against a wall, you can struggle as much as you want. You can scream and be pathetic. If you need to whine and cry every now and again, I don't mind. You can't help but what you can't. It's Malay. What is it? Millet? You can't help what you feel. But then the world might not be interesting if things were always easy. That's true. I'm saying stupid things. It's gotten a bit colder. You should go in. I don't think what you're saying is stupid at all. Well, thank you. One more thing before I go. Yes? When you were treating me, Yeah? My heart was racing, and I was thinking strange things. There, I'd said it. You idiot! What are you saying? But it's true. Just because it's true doesn't mean you have to tell me all that. But I was glad that you felt the same way. Okay, alright. Just go inside. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear any of this. Jin had turned bright red and was waving his hands frantically. How did Jin really feel about me? I wanted to know. When I woke up, yesterday's fever had vanished as if it had never been. I slowly roused myself and went outside. The sun was already shining brightly over a vista that stretched far into the distance. Morning, Princess. Jin spoke in a cheerful voice. Good morning, Jin. Where's Munishige? He said he was going to scout out the trail ahead. He should be back soon. We'll reach the castle today, right? Yeah, that's what Munishige said. It looks like your fever has gone down. Yes, it has. Thank you. I really appreciate it. But how did you know? I felt your forehead while you were sleeping. What? I'm just joking. I wouldn't do something like that. I'd be too nervous, and I'd give myself away just getting close to you. What's with that suspicious look? I know, because when you had that fever, you were having nightmares and talking in your sleep, but you quieted it down around dawn. I hadn't been talking in my sleep. Did you listen? Heck yeah. What should I do? Maybe I'd said something weird. What was I saying? You want me to tell you? Oh, man. Yes? Oh, George Lucas. What? I cannot say that. Don't make fun of me. No, you really did say that. At least I think you did. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe I was just hearing things. You're probably doing both. Maybe. Oh, George Lucas. What was that? Even if I'd been asleep. How embarrassing. Just what kind of dream had I been having anyway? Yeah, episode 10 confirmed. Georgie, I want to go back to the castle. Of course, my princess, anything for you and your silly Wookiee-like mane. Even I could never have dreamed up a hairstyle so charmingly improbable as yours. Sheesh. I thought you were a nice person, Jin. I was so very wrong. Oh, thanks. Jin was grinning. He really liked teasing me. Munishige had returned from patrol. What is it, Munishige? His odd expression made my anxiety rise. Jin, We have been underestimating the ninjas. I scattered out our path a little bit ahead, and it seems that that we are already surrounded. Yeah, it's Anixia. I don't know why she's crying again. She probably wants somebody to play with her. How many? At least 20, and the sun has already risen. They have the advantage of numbers, and they are probably tightening their circle right now. What do we do? What would you do? I leave the thinking to you. So you'll go along with me then. I have no problem with that, princess. Me? I'll do whatever everybody else does. Very well. After a period of consideration, Muneshige opened his frowning mouth. We're going to have to split up our knights again. What do you mean? Well, one person stays and fights, the other knight will flee with the queen. In short, Jin, I leave the princess in your care. I will remain here. You want me to run away with the princess? Yes. I don't think so. What? You take her. Once you get closer to the castle, there should be people who know you everywhere. Things would go much more smoothly that way. I'll stay here. As long as the princess is with you, you do not need to worry about anything else. More importantly, you are still young, and I have led a full life. I will stay. I'm telling you, it's fine, so go. You protected the princess up until now. Isn't it your duty to protect her to the very end? You don't have time. We don't have time for this. Were you lying when you said you do what I told you? It wasn't a lie, but I just can't accept this. Arg! No, he's not 20. He's not 20 years old. Muneshige's at least in his 40s. At least. Arg! The two of them glared at each other. The enemy's not going to be a pushover with that many of them. Whoever is going to buy time for the others to escape would need to be a skilled fighter. Given the circumstances, I'll just come out and say it. I am better than you with a sword, so I will be the one to stay behind. Oh, what a surprise. So you would make light of one who has learned the secrets of techniques of the Katori Sado Ryu School of Swordsmanship. When we cross swords, we use those swords in place of our souls. Only a strong soul can bring victory. Schools of swordsmanship have nothing to do with it. Are you saying my soul is weak? Have you never had anybody knock you down from your pedestal? You want to give it a try? Stubborn man. I assume talking will not resolve anything. So in that case, I challenge you to a duel with wooden swords. The victor stays behind. Agreed? Agreed. Nishige, Jin, how can you fight? Don't worry. We will not be using real swords. Oh boy. Both of them found suitable sticks and turned to confront each other after they had paced off the required distance. Both of you, just calm down a little. Princess, there are some fights from which a man cannot back down. Please wait there for a moment. Yeah, what he said. The wind howled. A sudden gust of wind rushed between the two men. Glaring at each other, they began to close the distance between them, little by little. Jin, I can feel your sword's heartbeat. Same goes for you. However, unlike me, you have not been trained in a school of swordsmanship. Your stance is full of openings. So, why not come and get me? I think I will. Muneshige brought his sword down in a forceful arc. What is this? You're full of openings, but hard to hit. Just when it seems like I should strike you, I do not. Ha ha! What? What's so funny? I've never seen anyone who fought like this. Are you an idiot or incredibly talented? Maybe it's both. I see. And by the way, why don't you attack me back? That wouldn't work. I've been playing it out in my head for a while now, and I think you would attack me right back. There just aren't enough openings in your stance. It's rare for me to find a style of swordsmanship so different from my own. This is Muneshige talking. Just facing off with you like this is quite fun, Jin. No, they're not going to kiss. So you're trying to act all mature about this, huh? Well, I'm still completely determined, Muneshige. But we can't afford to spend any more time on a farce like this. Yeah, this little tea party is getting us nowhere. We will determine the victor with a single strike. Let us both go at the same time. All right, no choice then. There's that wind again. Once more, there was the sound of the wind. Jin fell into a crouch. Just then, I saw a black shadow move behind him. Uh-oh. Jin! Unoshige! The enemy is here! We were too late. Yeah, you guys were fucking around with your fucking stick fighting. We'll have to leave the duel for later. The two tossed aside their sticks and came running. Before we had even realized it, our cluster of rocks had been completely surrounded by men in black clothing. Ha! It looks like you were going to put on such an interesting show, but I'm afraid I have to interrupt. The man in the center spoke. As you can see, you are already surrounded. If you hand over the princess quietly, we will not kill anybody unnecessarily. Is that man their leader? Shall we do it? Even if we both went after him, there would be no point. I will stay and fight. You use that time to take the princess. We never managed to settle this with a duel. I'll go. Arg! Will there never be an end to this debate? Princess, please decide which one of us you would like to escape with. I have no problem with that. Go ahead and pick, Princess. How could they? Unishige and Jin. They were both important people to me. How could I choose one of them? But seeing their grave expressions, I grew determined. I had to make a decision. Alright, we're going with Jin. I'll go with Jin. Princess, that is a wise decision. Unishige made a sound of approval and nodded his head. At that moment, Jingle! Look out! Aha! Unishige swept his sword out in a long stroke. A dagger fell to the ground, leaving the sound of bells behind it. A dagger with bells on it? What is it? What are you doing? I am not a patient man. Now, will you hurry up and hand over the princess? We refuse. Jin, hurry! Take the princess and run! Unishige, meeting you has broadened my perspective. The world is a wide and fascinating place. The princess is precious to you. I will protect her enough for both of us. Hearing those words gives my heart ease. If luck is with me, we may meet again. Or may we meet again? Do you mean? I could not bear to let those who have a future ahead of them die. This is my final gift to you. You idiot! Don't you dare say this is the end, you ass! Right, now go! The princess chose you. Think about what that means. Unishige, once you get back to the castle, I'm going to punch your lights out. Huh? No matter how I think about it, what you said yesterday is ridiculous, so you better come back to the castle. Your punches look quite painful. Yeah, and the punch I'll give you will hurt like hell. You got it? If you die, I'll kill you. Jin glared straight at Unishige. The expression on his face was earnestness itself. Understood. I don't mind dying twice, after all. Unishige nodded with a rueful smile. And it's a promise between warriors. Unishige stood a little bit straighter. Yes, I swear on my sword. Unishige brushed his hand against the sword hanging at his waist. I swear on mine. Jin also touched his sword. Yeah, can they just get moving? These ninjas are gonna have them, like, already. Let's go, princess. Yes. Jin took my hand and we began to run. Yes. As I prayed that Unishige would somehow be safe, I raced along with all the strength in my body. Fools, you think you can run? Wait, I will be your opponent. Unishige stood before the ninjas who were pursuing us. What do you think you can do by yourself? Take care of him. Yes. The ninjas surrounded Unishige and swept down on him all at once. Unishige spoke quietly and with perfect composure. Then come. Satori Seido Yu-2 Sword Secret Technique! Gathering his strength, Unishige sank into a crouch and mowed down the ninjas as they came at him. Ah! Ugh! Worthless creatures, stand back and watch. Kasumi slipped rapidly to the front. What is your name? Unishige Tsukuba. And yours? If they ask you who killed you when you're in hell, this is your answer. Kasumi Maru Fuma. You think those two will be able to escape so easily? I don't think so, but I do pray so. We are utterly determined. We have taken every possible action against you. You cannot save their lives. There is no reason for you to fight so needlessly. But I don't think as rationally as you do. This is exactly why samurai are hard to deal with. You should be a bit more flexible, like we are. How about it? Well then, could you simply turn around and betray your master? Could you stab Haramoto Ono in the back? Well, depending on the circumstances. Still, I probably wouldn't. Then we're the same. Everyone, if you don't want to get killed, get away and go after the princess. Yes, sir. Wait! You think I'll let you do that? You are going to die here. Blocking Munishige's path, Kasumi Maru began to gesture with his fingers. Rin Byo To Sha Kai Jin Retsu Zai Zen! Flash. Black Magic Leopard Eye Darkness! So, do they always, call out the name of their moves in all of these, manga and anime and shit? This is ridiculous. What? Suddenly, Kasumi Maru's artificial golden eye began to shine brilliantly, and just as suddenly, the area was enveloped in darkness. Curses! An illusion! Ha 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 ha! Too bad for you. Muneshige, no matter how talented a swordsman you are, you cannot escape from this spell. Yeah! Opening his eyes wide, Muneshige swung at Kasumi Maru, who was still making arcane gestures. The sword did not connect, but cut uselessly through empty air. Ha! I'm not over there. I'm here. Right here. Yeah! You have fallen deep into the spell. Do you think you can see through my magical barrier? Arr! Yeah! Muneshige swung his sword in the direction of the voice, but hit nothing. Ha 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 ha! What is it? Are you done already? If so, then it's my turn. Sensing the sword behind him only a hair's breadth away, Muneshige rapidly blocked it with his own sword. Oh man, go back. So I would... No. But seeing their grave expressions, No! What am I doing? I need to go back. Oh. Oh my. I never imagined that anyone could block that. So how about this? Kasumi Maru's attack continued until Muneshige could no longer block with his swords, only dodge with his body. You're breathing faster, aren't you? How much longer can you keep this up? Kasumi Maru was right. Even Muneshige himself knew that. At this rate, he wouldn't be able to hold out for much longer, and then he would be cut to pieces. If I can't see anything, then... Muneshige closed his eyes and thought. He could sense the moment that Kasumi Maru began to swing his sword, because he was the one being aimed at. He could feel the aura and shift his body to avoid the attack. What is this? He can feel the aura? But that was only a defensive battle. If he did not counterattack at some point, he would have no choice of escaping. Perhaps he could land a blow in the moment just before Kasumi Maru struck, should he take his chances and attack on a hunch. But if Kasumi Maru wasn't there, then he would be unable to dodge Kasumi Maru's sword the next time he brought it down. He would have to be prepared to die. What should he do? Shinosuke's face flashed through his mind. Jin, what would you do? Will my soul show me the way to victory? He heard the sound of bells. Was it his imagination? He couldn't trust his ears. No mistake, it was the sound of the bells on Kasumi Maru's dagger. Why did he have bells on his dagger? I am your debt, Jin. Kasumi Maru's huge eyes looked down from the inside of the magical barrier. Ha! Even if you close your eyes, you cannot break free of my spell. Is that so? Muneshige raised the sword he held in his left hand to the level of his waist. Katori Saito, use secret technique, Dark Wolves! Oh? You think you can block my sword? Oh, I am not blocking you. I will only be cutting you. What did you say? You coward. You can only fight hidden in darkness. I can see your sword clearly. What? Where's the... Why is they singing? Why is there singing? What? This sounds so cheesy. I can hear your bells, Minoshige thought. It is the sound of a heart trembling in fear. What? The sound of the bells was coming from two different places. God, this is so distracting me. Oh, the sound of the bells. What about it? You weren't trying to use that to figure out where I was, were you? Ha 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 ha. Loud, triumphant laughter echoed through the darkness of the darkness of the magical barrier. It does kind of sound like Elvis, doesn't it? Arg! Muneshige, here I come. Princess, farewell. The image of the princess when she was very young floated through Muneshige's mind as he prepared for death. Haha, you couldn't find me, could you? You were very good at hide-and-seek, princess. I'm in the best... Oh, it was Hatsuhime. It's not his name. I'm the best in the whole castle. I don't lose to any of the maids. Do you want me to tell you what the trick is? Please. It's not a good idea to try and be tricky. If you make them think you're going in front of them and then hide behind them, you'll be found right away. Ah. It's better to hide right in front of them, and if you can, to the left, because people always tend to look to the right. I see. Remember, Muneshige, the left. Ah! Muneshige's eyes snapped open. Die! Muneshige felt the sword that he had swung to his left connect. What? In the next instant, the darkness vanished. The magical barrier shrank back to its original state, and as the strong light hit his eyes, Muneshige sank dizzily to his knees. Ah! Oh shit, he cut his arm off! Arr! How did you? Kasumi Maru's right arm had been cut cleanly off at the shoulder. You bastard! How did you know? The princess told me where you were. What nonsense. Ugh! Kasumi Maru began to sway. He had lost his sword arm and should have been unable to fight, but his false eye had lost none of its power. Muneshige thought once more that he was a truly terrifying man. Kasumi Maru, it's over. Do you think a ninja needs your sympathy? You're not the only one. You're not the one in control here. There was no more ground behind the extremely unsteady Kasumi Maru. His feet were slipping rapidly to the edge of the bare rock. Ah! Without thinking, he brushed away Muneshige's outstretched hand. Lord Haramoto. Long hair trailing behind him, Kasumi Maru plummeted to the bottom of the cliff. Kasumi Maru! The hand he had stretched out caught only empty air. So this was how a ninja died. Shocked, Muneshige stood motionless. It's over then. Muneshige looked up at the summer sky. Princess. When he looked down below him, he could see the figures of the ninjas pursuing the princess. I won't let you have your way. Spurring his body on, exhausted though it was from the duel with Kasumi Maru, Muneshige began to run. He had to protect the princess, even if it cost him his life. Yeah, the music was abruptly murdered. Oh, okay. Next chapter. The sound of our footsteps filled my ears. I was pulled along by Jin's hand, and suddenly we were running down a steep slope. We're almost at the highway. Yes. I could see an earth-colored gap between the trees. There it was. Jin quickened his pace. Oh crap. It was too fast, and I was tripping over my own feet. Uh-oh. Ah! Whoa! I pitched forward, getting tangled up with Jin, and we slid rapidly down towards the highway. Ow, ow, ow! We had been thrown down onto the highway. I felt something soft under my head. I must have landed on Jin. After that running had left me short of breath. After I hit the ground hard, I just stayed like that, unmoving. I could feel the raggedness of Jin's breath against my own body. It felt like proof that he was still alive. Oh boy. Oh boy. Although I had felt the coming autumn in the mountains, back down on the highway, summer was not over yet. I looked up at the white clouds in the clear, bright sky. Jin's fingers were casually touching my hair. His fingers did not move awkwardly about. They just stroked gently. It tickled a bit, but it felt comfortable somehow. I stayed perfectly still. Maybe we should just run away together and never go back to the castle. He murmured this very softly, but I still heard. Maybe that wouldn't be so bad. I was surprised to realize I was even thinking about it. But we can't do that. We can't betray the comrades we left behind. Shinosuke spoke again, as if to himself. I'm so hungry. He was back to his usual self. I wanted to ask him if he'd really meant what he'd just said, but we haven't eaten for a long time, have we? I'm hungry too. What do you want to eat? Me? I think... We were lying down together on the highway as we spoke. I felt like if I stood up, I might never have this chance again. This time that we spent together, just the two of us, it was precious. The ninjas chasing us and the danger we were facing all felt very far away. And yes, you guys better get up because they're still after you. I know. Oh, totally. All that mattered was feeling Jin's warmth and his heartbeat on my cheek and under the palms of my hands. Everything else was inconsequential. That was what I felt just then. A fever-hot wind swept across us, and the sun climbed higher and higher. And then, all of a sudden, there was a shadow blocking that sun. Uh-oh. What are you doing? A deep voice rumbled down at us. I looked up to see a man mounted on a horse, a sharp glint in his eyes. We're fine, so leave us alone. Jin spoke casually to the samurai. Frightened, I clutched his kimono tightly. I can't do that. You'd just be a nuisance to everybody else who came down this road, lying there stretched out like that. I guess you're right. Jin rose to his feet, and I did likewise at his invitation. I began to brush the dust off his back. Thanks. No problem. The two of us had been able to spend that happy time alone together, even if it had been all too brief. By the way, could you tell me what you two are doing here? I began to speak, but Jin cut me off. And who are you to ask? Isn't it a bit rude to speak down to us, at us from your horse? Oh, pardon me. He dismounted and looked down at us. He seemed even more massive standing than he had on horseback. Are you a samurai from the castle? Huh? Yes. Oh, what is your name? Wouldn't it be more polite to tell me your own name first? Oh, I'm Shinosuke Murasami. And I am Nobumasa Ono. Ono? And you are? Me? I'm his lover. Oh shit. I'm his lover, Osayo. Huh? Oh, his lover. Then let me see some proof of that. Proof? What do you mean? If you're lovers, then you must know each other's likes and dislikes. In fact, it would be ridiculously strange if you did not. I guess that's true. Well then, Shinosuke, come here. Wait a second. Why do you have to know this about us? Well, the truth is, there is a rumor that a group of wandering samurai called Yo-Jin-Bo has abducted the clan princess. I am currently investigating the matter. Oh, so there's a rumor like that going around. But you know the princess if you saw her, right? Or have you never actually seen her in person? Unfortunately, I have never seen her directly, but I hear she's about the same age as that girl with you. And has the same clothes, so I'll need to question you. Will you keep quiet and do what I say, or will your life vanish like the morning dew? These are your two possible futures. Choose one. In the face of this overbearing coercion that left us unable to say yes or no, I gripped Jin's sleeve without thinking. There's no reason for me to fight pointlessly. So, what do you want us to do? Like I said, come over here. Right. Jin looked at me as if to say that it would all be okay, and walked over to that man named Nobumasa. He and Jin quickly exchanged a few words, whispering into each other's ears. I saw Jin's face cloud over a bit. My anxiety mounted rapidly. Welcome to the summer rendition of Are We Really Lovers? The romantic diagnosis quiz. And now, the first question. Right now, we're in the middle of the pro baseball season. So can you name Jinosuke's favorite baseball team? Baseball team? Uh-oh. The Atlanta Braves? Psst, wrong. It's a football team, isn't it? Really? The correct answer is the New York Yankees. Too bad. It's no big deal. She just had the wrong sport. Moving on, the second question. Shinosuke may always look like he's just joking around. Give me a break. But the truth is, he lives by his beloved four-word motto. What is it? What? What? Four-word motto? I don't know. I have no idea. Half-price barbecue buffet? Bzz, wrong. Are you an idiot? Who lives by the words half-price barbecue buffet? Where'd you get off calling me an idiot? Wait, I know. High middle-age divorce rates. Okay. And to make matters worse, wrong again. Let's hear the correct answer from Jin. The correct answer is endless cycle of rebirth. What? I didn't know that. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. But the other four-word motto I know is all existence is suffering. It's not exactly a motto. You're outside the range of possible answers there. In a certain way, you two do seem to be made for each other. What? And now the final question. Get this right and you'll win 3 days and 2 nights at a gorgeous hot springs resort, guaranteed to put a sparkle back in your life. Yes! And here it is, the final question. We're practically giving this one to you. Where was it that you went on your first date? Huh? I've never actually been on a date yet. Think back and give us your answer. Go ahead. The Meguro Museum of Parasitology? Oh my god! The Meguro Museum of what? Parasitology! I hear they have a special leech exhibit. Why on earth would we go somewhere like that? I read in a magazine that most young couples have a passion for parasitology. What is wrong with you? Sheesh! Now we can kiss that hot spring vacation goodbye. Let's hear the correct answer for Jinosuke. The Suihirote district of Shinjuku. What's that? Some sort of barbecue restaurant? No, it is vaudeville and variety shows. It is Charlie Chaplin films. Wow, that's tame. Those are pretty much the same hobbies as my grandpa has. So unfortunately, you had some disappointing results from that third question. There is absolutely no way that the two of you are a couple, which means you must be Hatsuhime and her bodyguard. Whoa, way to shift gears there. So, is this your roundabout way of telling us that we don't get a consolation prize? How about a spare through the face instead? The samurai whirled his huge spear around, suddenly halting it and settling into a fighting stance. Princess, get back a bit. It looks like he's going to be as tough an opponent as Muneshige. Don't underestimate me. I'm better than Muneshige. Well, I guess this will be a fight worth having, then. After checking to see that I had moved back to the side of the road, Jin unsheathed his sword. Are you an assassin? Like that ninja? Don't make me laugh. It's absurd to compare me to that man. I have come to take Hatsuhime's life on my brother's orders. You're a samurai, and a skilled warrior in the service of your government. And still you dare to raise a hand against your own princess. I have a friend who does his best to live by the code of the warrior, and he would be very sad to hear you say that. This is pointless. I am not interested in having a debate with you. I am simply following the path that my brother has chosen for me, even if it leads to hell. All of a sudden, the distance between them had narrowed. The wind blew. There's the wind again. Now, Tiger's roar, electric shock. Yeah, we get a tiger roar. Whoa-ya-ya-ya! His spear lashed out with amazing speed, leaving Jin on the defensive. Jin's sword turned aside the spear just in the nick of time. Oh, you managed to stop my spear. Oh. But it looks like you're out of breath. Will you be able to block the next one? It looks like I was mistaken. You're begging for your life now? It's too late for that. You're not as strong as Muneshige. What? You dare mock me? I can't help my honest opinion. Still, if I don't fight at full strength, I won't be able to beat you. Jin held his sword above his head, slanting it forward. Ha 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 ha! The huge man's laughter echoed up and down the highway. Amateur! And you call yourself a bodyguard? Pathetic! That stance is full of openings. Toyotomi Hideyoshi's... Wait, what? Toyotomi Hideyoshi wasn't a samurai, but he still became the emperor's advisor. If he can do it, so can I. So I just keep improving my sword technique. And who was it who taught you that sword technique? Nobody, but I guess you could say I learned it from the earth. A man who lived in harmony with the earth taught my soul the courage to protect what is precious to it. Living in harmony with the earth? What are you, a peasant? Just like Toyotomi Hideyoshi was. Ha! People like you are a disgrace to samurai like me. Now I will strike you down. Waya-ha-ha! Certain kill Mount Fair strike, yeah! Ah! There's lots of hooing and hawing in this game. Jin's sword plunged deep into the earth on his downstrike. Just what do you think you're cutting? And then a ball of flame slammed up into Nobumasa. What? Oh shit. His massive body hung in the air for a moment, and then came crashing down to the earth. How could someone like you? Swordmanship is not about technique. It is a battle of souls. But still, you looked down on me, and you got careless. To be defeated by a nobody peasant like you. I don't understand it myself. I've heard that on the path of the sword, sometimes you can only go further by meeting yourself and fighting yourself. When I practiced my sword, nature was my sparring partner, and I imitated what I saw. In the end, I arrived at this secret technique, the Mountain Fair Strike. Brother. Nobumasa's body swayed and trembled before he finally crumbled to the dirt, raising a cloud of dust on the road as he did. He did not speak another word. Princess Hatsuhime! Huh? Look, it's... the old man! Hey, Gramps! We're over here! I know! And don't call me Gramps! Princess Hatsuhime! Hatsuhime's guardian, Yahei, came running pell-mell towards us, grinning wildly. Behind him followed a large number of samurai, all of them calling the princess's name. I thought of Yo-Bo, Manman, and Idosai, and Muneshige. We had been saved, thanks to them. Yahei! Everybody! I was waving wildly at them without thinking. When I looked next to me, I saw Jin's smiling face. When his eyes met mine, it seemed like his smile grew just a little brighter. Aww, is this where we part ways? Is this where we part ways? From beneath the distant sky. Like the water was just the right temperature. It seemed like a long time since I had taken a simple, carefree bath. Sure, the hot spring in the mountains had felt good, but I'd been on edge the whole time. I'd had no idea when our enemies might attack us next, and something about not knowing that everybody else was just on the other side of the rock had made my heart race. Just thinking about it now was making my heart race. My face was probably starting to turn red. I sank into the water until my mouth was level with the surface and exhaled. Bubbles formed and disappeared, and I remembered everybody's smiling faces. I wondered what had happened to them all. Yo and Bo and Manman and Idosai, and then there was Muneshige. No need to worry, right? They were all strong. The more I thought about it, the more I worried until I almost felt like crying. Still, I was sure they were safe. And Chewie is right in front of my screen. Get over here. Stop it, cat. Right. No, sit on my lap. Sit. Chewie, sit. There. They were just a little bit late getting back to the castle. We'd sent out plenty of samurai to help them, too, so they had to be all right. I tried to think of something happy. I'd been safely rescued, and tomorrow I was going to have a party with everybody at the castle, right? And what would happen to me then? Would I be able to go back to my real world? Would the power of the pendant do something, like the time it had brought me here? I would be able to get back. At last, I'd be back in my own house. Are you happy? Something inside me demanded. Yeah, I was a little happy. You're not happy at all, are you? You're lonely, unbelievably lonely. Why do you need to lie to yourself? That insistent little voice kept on whispering. I didn't want to hear it, but it will be hard to leave Jin, won't it? That voice said. Are you sure you want to go back? Really sure? I knew that, but... And his chest was so warm when you pressed your face against it, and his smile and his gentle eyes, and the way he sometimes turned serious all of a sudden. Can you really live with yourself if you lose all that? Please, let it stop. I just didn't know what I was supposed to do. What should I do? I wanted to go back, but at the same time, I didn't want to go back. What was I supposed to do? I didn't want to say goodbye to Jin. And what would Jin think? I thought he'd started to like me, if only just a little. Or maybe he'd only been doing his job. Oh, come on. Cat! Chewie, no! Get down. No. Come on, get down. No, we're almost done. We're the final chapters. Maybe we should just run away together and never go back to the castle. What had he really meant when he spoke those words? Could I trust them? Where did I go from here? Princess, you look rather pale. Are you still tired? Unbelievable. Haramoto Ono, you dog! Trying to assassinate the princess. I will never forgive you. But everything's okay now, right? Well, that's true. We sent troops to Kitahama Castle as soon as we could, but we could not find Haramoto. We will leave no stone unturned in our search for him. When we find him, he will be put in prison, and as soon as the Lord returns, he will be ordered to commit seppuku, or executed. Either way, he'll be as dead as his brother. Dead? I don't think we have to go that far. What are you saying? Naturally, he deserves at least that much. Disloyalty is a grave sin. I guess so, but... I wish Haramoto himself could hear your kind and merciful words. But in any case, you have become very quiet all of a sudden. Huh? Well, that's... It seems like this latest adventure was enough for even our wildcat of a princess. This new attitude of yours is a rare and precious thing. Yahei looked very happy. He seemed like a bit of a nag, but he really did love Hatsuhime. It's almost time. I know you must be tired, but it's almost over, so keep doing your best. Yes. Yahei led me to some place called the audience room. It looked like I was supposed to sit on the raised platform. Oh, I was so nervous. Oh, there was Jin. Excellent. I could relax a little bit knowing that he was there. Princess Hatsuhime, as a representative of all your vassals, I wish to humbly express my joy that you have returned unharmed. Thank you. Oh, I'm getting congested. The traitor Haramoto Ono has not yet been captured. But as we are searching for him with the utmost of diligence, it is only a matter of time. As you can see, Jinosuke Murasame is seated before you. Please see fit to reward him with some words of thanks. Yes. When I looked over at Jin, he was frowning awkwardly and scratching his head. He looked like he was about to be scolded. Jinosuke Murasame, thank you for protecting me. No problem. Jinosuke Murasame, you may now reply to the princess. Right, your humble servant is, grateful for your gracious words. You can speak normally. We'll never be done at this rate. Really? Well then. It's a good thing we got back to the castle. Are you feeling a bit calmer now? Yes. It was something of a relief to hear him speaking like he always did. He had seemed so distant when he was trying to be polite. You did splendidly. If you have no objections, would you like to continue using that sword? It would be my honor to give it to you. What are you talking about? It's your important family treasure, right? That is true, but a sword exists to be wielded by a skilled user, not to be displayed and stared at. But still, it's fine. So take it. You can give me your old sword instead. We'll pass that down through our family, along with the story of your bravery. Hey, wait a second. You're not satisfied with that. It's not that I'm not satisfied, it's just that my sword is pretty much a piece of junk. That does not matter. Please, Jinosuke. Cramps. Okay, I'll accept your kind offer. Still, it seems I am rather attached to that sword. Would you let me look at it one last time? Huh? What are you so surprised about? No, I just thought that... It's just one last look, I promise. Well, then I'll show it to you. But don't get mad, okay? The old man took the sword from Jin. When he saw the blade, he drew back in astonishment. Well, what? It's all nicked and scratched! That's why I told you not to get mad. My family treasure! How could you? I demand an explanation. I tried to be careful with it. I was fighting this guy, and I absolutely had to use a certain death technique to win. A certain death technique? Mine is called Mountain Fear Strike. You need to smash up the ground, so the impact scratches up just about any sword. To ruin a famous sword like that. So is that why you're always whipping around some battered sword? Whipping? Battered sword? Hey man, the sword tripped on the stairs, that's all. It was an accident. I've really done it this time. It's fine. You can have this. Yahei drew the sword that was hanging at his waist and handed it to Jin. Are you sure? I have no use for it. Besides, you're the hero who saved our princess. I couldn't give you some ruined sword. He'd actually started crying. And I have to give you your payment too. Princess, kindly hand Jinosuke his reward. Yes. No, I can't take that. Huh? Why? Jin held up the sword that he had just been given. I already got this, after all. My Nimbus 2000 is all I need. That was fast. It looked like he'd already given his sword a name, albeit a rather strange one. What sort of name was Nimbus 2000? That's not the reason I gave you Nimbus 2000. It was apparently pretty catchy, though. Alright, you can give us the reward when everybody else gets back. But if they're still... I couldn't get the words out. They have not yet returned. I would like to believe that they are safe, but... they're not going to die that easily. I'm sure they'll come back, so please. Jin... He shot me a pained smile. I don't want them to accuse me of keeping the reward all for myself after all. Why don't you just hang on to it for now, and divide it up when everybody else gets back? No. Jin's face clouded over. Jin... It's no good. Because I'm going to be leaving tomorrow. What? How can he do that? Nobody else was back yet. I still hadn't thanked him properly. Besides, I just didn't want to say goodbye all of a sudden. Isn't that a bit hasty? You must still be tired. That's right. At least stay for today. If you would like, I can speak with the Lord and recommend that you be allowed to serve as one of our samurai. Or is that not to your liking? Jin, Muneshige hasn't come back to the castle. Nobody's come back. So how could I be the only one to stay here and serve as a samurai? I just can't. Just stay just a little bit longer. Just until everybody else gets back. I'm sorry. Jin, it looks like we can stop you. Jin. Princess Hatsuhime, this man has already made up his mind. Be gracious and bid him farewell. No. My hands were shaking. No, not just my hands, my entire body. Later, princess. Thank you for your hard work. Be well. Yeah, same to you, Gramps. Wait. When I looked at Jin, there was a strange forcefulness in his eyes. They were the eyes of a man who had resigned himself to something. No matter how far I am from you, I will always be praying for your happiness. Jin. Farewell. Something in the curve of Jin's back as he stood, the slope of his shoulders, suggested that he was crying. Almost reflexively, I called out to him. Jin, I love you! What? Princess, we are in public! I don't care! Jin looked back. His eyes were overflowing with tears. I love you too. Then why? Very quietly, Jin turned his face away. You couldn't be happy with me. Yahe had to hold me back from crying, wait, and running after Jin. Please restrain yourself. You must not let that man's incredible courage go to waste. I wish you much happiness, Princess Hatsuhime, daughter of the Mochizuki clan. And leaving only these words behind him, Jin left. No matter how many times I called his name, he did not look back. I could only sit there powerlessly. Thank you for everything. Please be well. Goodbye. I knew I was on the verge of screaming and pressed both hands over my mouth. I would never see Jin again. Never. Princess, you did very well. You were very strong. You have grown up a lot. This was the first time that saying goodbye had been so very painful, and I did not think it would ever be this painful again. Goodbye, Jin. I loved you. The sun blazed down mercilessly on the travelers on the road. Summer was supposedly almost over, but this year, the intensity of the sun did not seem to be weakening at all. Amongst all the passers-by who were looking down warily, cursing as they did so, was the figure of a single man. So hot. Trying to block the sun, Shinosuke raised his sleeve to cover his face, but when he covered his face, he only began to sweat more heavily. It's not that I don't like summer, but I can't stand this. The sensation of his hair and clothing clinging to his skin was ineffably unpleasant. As he went on walking, filled with frustration, he found himself wishing desperately for anything wet. Just then, his eyes happened to fall on a single tea house. Shinosuke glanced through his wallet, counting. 1, 2... It looked like he had just enough to pay for a quick break. Maybe he'd feel revitalized if he rested for a bit. On unsteady feet, Shinosuke stumbled through the front curtain of the tea house. Welcome, welcome! Hey, I'll have a tea and rice. No, dumplings on a stick. 3. 2 sticks, please. Coming right up. The truth was he wanted to fill up on onigiri, but he just didn't have the money. Maybe I should have let them give me just a little. That wasn't very smart of me, but not eating is nothing to a warrior. Be strong, be strong. I like the sound of his stomach rumbling. His stomach rumbled. Shut up! Don't growl at me! Feeling as if he were being mocked by his own digestive system, Shinosuke punched himself in the stomach, and then he blacked out from the pain. Sir? Are you alright? This isn't Fight Club, you know. What is it? What is it? This is your order, sir. Thanks! I was waiting for that. I'll just put it here. I'm assuming you don't want seconds, so please leave as soon as you finish. Even though the innkeeper was looking at him as if he were some sort of half-feral animal, all Shinosuke could think about at the moment was the food in front of him. Time to eat! Gobbling the food down as fast as he wanted, Jin was soon done. Considering his hunger, it had only been a drop in the ocean, but it was still better than nothing. After his meal, Jin sat sipping tea. So basically, it looks like they finally married off that tomboy of a princess. Jin happened to hear these words as he idly eavesdropped on the conversations of the other customers. The guests continued to chat calmly with the innkeeper. It was about time, you know. I suppose, but still, the heir of the Mayuzumi clan isn't even 10, right? I feel a bit sorry for her. Well, yeah, but she's a princess, you know. One way or another, she'll come out on top. So, when is the wedding celebration? Well, rumor says that it should be soon. They're really hurrying things along, aren't they? Jinosuke realized that he was gripping the teacup in his hand with dangerous force and quickly set it aside. The princess was getting married. That realization rocked Jinosuke to the core. The words repeated themselves over and over in his head. Princess. Had she decided to marry of her own free will? Maybe not. Maybe somebody had made the decision for her. If he had been there. What am I thinking? Even if it wasn't necessarily a marriage she wanted, so what? He was the one who had decided to leave. What was the point of wondering how things would be different if he had been there? Jinosuke swallowed the remaining tea in a single gulp. Ah, hot! His mouth burned from the still hot tea, and unable to bear it, he asked for some water. The innkeeper quickly held some out, and he gulped it down. Are you all right, sir? Please be careful. Right. Sorry. His tongue and throat were still sore. Keeping a wary eye on Jinosuke, the innkeeper returned to the other customer. Jinosuke stood. He stretched, and clutching his stomach, which did not feel any less empty than it had before, he parted with his last few coins with an overwhelming sorrow. He glanced up at the sky, endlessly high and blue. If he looked closely enough, he could see signs of the approaching autumn. I'm healthy and the sky is blue. Chewie, and now Chewie's in front of my monitor again. Get down. Sit down. No, clean your butt. Your butt's dirty. He likes taking his time cleaning his butt, damn freaking cat. Alright. He stretched exaggeratedly once more with a false show of energy. He knew that he couldn't go back now. The least he could do was wish with all his heart for her to be happy. Let's go. With a full heart and an empty belly, Jinosuke began to walk. So long, princess. He whispered these final words within his heart. When I woke up, I was in my own bed again. I don't think I got the good ending. Half sitting up, I looked towards the window. Oh. Just like that other time. I had been sitting in bed just like this when I saw Hatsuhime. Had I come back? I'd been sleeping in the castle just a moment ago. Is anybody here? There was no answer. Glancing about my surroundings again, all I saw was my familiar room and its usual furniture and bric-a-brac. Had I been dreaming? But I was scared, so scared. In that instant, I felt like I was losing something inside of myself. No, that's wrong. It wasn't a dream. I really did go to that other time. And I met everybody, and I fell in love with Jin. It wasn't just some dream I'd been having in my own room. Jin. The only thing I had was the pendant. I gripped it tightly until the chain bit into my fingers. It couldn't have been a dream. Right? You know that, right? Ow! Fucking cat! Ow! I could not stop my tears, and they ran down my face to splash on the green stone. Please, answer me. No, actually, I think this might be the best ending. Silently, wordlessly, the gem caught my tears as they fell. The next day, I went back to the ruins like always. I didn't want to go, but at the same time, part of me wanted to see the castle. It was the place where my memories of past and present connected, but the castle that was there could never go back to the way it had been. You're late! I told everyone to meet here 5 minutes ago, didn't I? The club president's voice was as shrill and scolding as always. I realized I'd almost missed it. Well, no big deal. More importantly, I have major news. That was unusual. Usually the scolding went on for 15 minutes. It's still off the record, but apparently a box containing the diary of the castle's princess had been recovered from the ruins. All the club members started talking at once. I had a sudden hunch that it was Hatsuhime's diary. Knowing the details of the princess's daily life will not only provide valuable historical insight, it seems that it might give us the story behind the War of Succession that occurred in the Mochizuki clan. The princess was saved from near assassination by a band of traveling samurai. Jin and everybody else. It had to be them. Or at least that's what she wrote. But that is almost certainly the princess's literary invention. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a dream. It had been properly written down and everything. I felt almost ready to scream this out loud. Jin, I found you again. There may well be other important materials from that era remaining to be found. Today is our last day, so let's all do our best. Yes! The president had finished talking. All that was left for us to do... all that was left for us to... I think there's words missing. All that was left for us was to walk around under the blazing sun like we always did, talking about how hot it was. Did something happen to you, Sayori? You seem much more enthusiastic than you usually do. Do I? You look happy about something. Happy? Yes, I was happy. The depression of that morning had lifted from me. The pain was not yet gone from my heart, but still, it hadn't been a dream, and I would have the memory of it forever. If I closed my eyes, the memories came rushing back. I took out the pendant that I was wearing under my clothing. It reflected the sunlight, sparkling softly, just like Jin's sincere smile had. I am here. He'd said that to me, right? That person shut away from me on the other side of time. It had been only some mischievous fate that had allowed me to meet him. A trick of fate like a miracle. I would never forget him, no matter what. I would never forget Jin. Jin, I love you. Please, let these feelings get through to Jin, I prayed as I kissed the pendant softly. That was it! How did I not get the best ending? Shit! Oh! This sucks! We didn't even get the big kiss! We didn't even get the final battle! What is this music? Oh, I love this. If we can get this. It's possible. We're gonna speed through and okay, I gotta get this music. This music's way too loud. Alright, so this is it. This is the actual good ending. So sorry about that, guys. I swear, all I had to do was get on Monmon's back. That was the one thing I had to do, and I would have done it. It would have been the good ending. The water was just the right temperature. It seemed like a long time since I had taken a simple, carefree bath. Sure, the hot spring in the mountains had felt good, but I'd been on edge the whole time. I'd had no idea when our enemies might attack us next, and something about knowing that everybody else was just on the other side of the rock had made my heart race. Just thinking about it now was making my heart race. My face was probably starting to turn red. I sank into the water until my mouth was level with the surface and exhaled. Bubbles formed and disappeared, and I remembered everybody's smiling faces. I wondered what had happened to them all. Yo-Jin-Bo and Monmon and Itosai, and then there was Munishige. No need to worry, right? They were all strong. The more I thought about it, the more I worried, until I almost felt like crying. Still, I was sure they were safe. They were just a little bit late getting back to the castle. We'd sent out plenty of samurai to help them too, so they had to be alright. I tried to think of something happy. I'd been safely rescued, and tomorrow I was going to have a party with everybody at the castle, right? And what would happen to me then? Would I be able to go back to my real world? Would the power of the pendant do something, like the time it had brought me here? I would be able to get back. At last, I'd be back to my own house. Are you happy? Something inside me demanded. Yeah, I was a little happy. Yeah, I can't skip this. You're not happy at all, are you? You're sad and lonely. Why do you need to lie to yourself? That insistent little voice kept on whispering. I didn't want to hear it, but... It will be hard to leave Jen, won't it? That voice said. Are you sure you want to go back? Really sure? I knew that, but... And his chest was so warm when you pressed your face against it, and his smile, and his gentle eyes, and the way he sometimes turned serious all of a sudden. Can you really live with yourself if you lose all that? Please let it stop. I just didn't know what I was supposed to do. What should I do? I wanted to go back, but at the same time, I didn't want to go back. What was I supposed to do? I didn't want to say goodbye to Jin. And what would Jin think? I thought he'd started to like me, if only just a little, or maybe he'd only been doing his job. Maybe we should just run away together and never go back to the castle. What had he really meant when he spoke those words? Could I believe them? Where did I go off from here? When I got out of the bath, I felt refreshed and generally much better. There were things that were worrying me, yes, but I couldn't solve any of them on my own. Should I at least try to let him know how I felt? Or maybe it would be better not to tell him. I wasn't a person from this time after all. I might return to my own world one day, as suddenly as I had come. I might confuse Jin, even hurt him. When I pushed open the bathhouse doors, there stood a person I remembered all too well. It's been a while, Princess. Would you mind terribly if I asked you to accompany me? Huh? Ugh! He punched me in the pit of the stomach, and the pain made my breath stop in my throat. Unable to stand, I doubled over. Using the last of my fading consciousness, I called out Jin's name. Jin! Shall we be off then? He effortlessly picked up my limp body and melted away. Thanks to you, the princess has been saved. This truly is a wonderful day. It wasn't just me. Well, yes. What happened to the rest of your group? I noticed that they didn't seem to be with you. We decided to split up partway through. I'm sure they'll be back. Yes, and when they do, I will extend my thanks to all of them. And if you wouldn't mind arranging a jello wrestling match with your prettiest serving girls. The other guys, like that sort of thing. Really? Well then, leave it to me. Would a spirited tournament of spin the bottle be acceptable? I think that would be fine. Oh, before I forget, let me give this back to you. It really helped me out. Thank you. As long as it helped you, I am happy. And Jinosuke held out the sword when Yahei began to unsheath it to examine the blade. Wait a minute. You're going to draw it out now? The edge might have been nicked. I need to look it over and see if I should take it to the swordsmith. But you can do that later, can't you? What's the problem? It won't even take 5 minutes. Huh? What in the world is this? A figure of speech known as rhetorical question. Don't try to change the subject with your wisecracks. What is this beat-up sword? The truth is, I was fighting this really strong guy called Nobumasa, and I couldn't win without using my certain death technique. It's called Mountain Fear Strike, and I have to break up the ground, but the sword's blade gets all beat up from the impact, you know? No, I don't know. My family treasure has been completely ruined. I'm really sorry about that. It's fine. You were protecting the princess. Nobumasa was certainly famous throughout the clan for his skill with the spear. You couldn't help it. Ramps. I'll have to take it out of your reward. What? I'm saying that I'll take payment for my sword out of the money that I'll give you. I thought you just said I couldn't help it, you stingy old man. You be quiet. Just be thankful that I'm not holding you liable for psychological damages as well. I don't have much longer to live, and now this. It's true that a sword is a warrior's soul, but... Grrr! Woof! Woof woof! Woof woof woof! Ruff ruff! What the fuck is going on? Why are they barking at each other? I'm sorry to interrupt, but may I come in? Woof! The truth is, it's rather important. What is it? There were 2 people on the roof of the watchtower. The serving woman pointed in the direction of the watchtower. What about the watchtower? Oh, that's... Did something happen? The princess, in a place like that. What? Shinosuke scooped up the damaged sword and dashed off towards the watchtower, backlit by the sinking sun. The wind sang by my ears as if it were moaning. When I heard the sound of the wind, I realized where I was for the first time. This is... The man who had me slung over his shoulder slowly put me down, setting me on the ridge of the roof so I would not lose my footing. If I moved even a little bit, I would slip and fall. We were on the roof of the watchtower. Are you awake now, princess? Why did you take me here? Let go of me, please, let go of me! Do you really expect me to let go of you? I'd be perfectly happy to. The wind made a whistling sound. What do you think? Splendid view, isn't it? His long, slanted eyes stared down at me with amusement. Stop this already, Harumoto. Even if you killed me, things won't work out like you want them to. So you're saying I shouldn't do this? Yes. Telling me to admit that I've lost? It's not a question of winning and losing. And what happens then? What becomes of me? Will I be captured and beheaded as a criminal? I don't know. You don't know? Oh, but you must. A princess like you. Disloyalty, say, trying to kill the Lord's daughter, is a grave sin. I'll be beheaded, and my head will be put on a spike. My family will be interrogated and stripped of its name. So, what should I do? If I'm going to be treated as a criminal, then I would be better off communicating my true intentions to posterity and proving that I was not a criminal but a revolutionary. Did heaven give me life only to tell me how to live it? I hate heaven, and I hate the talent it has given me. I am a much more talented man than our Lord, and much more talented than a creature like you. The wind blew loudly, making a sound like weeping, or perhaps it was a sound like laughter. And this is how things turn out. But still, I refuse to die as a criminal. That would be too pathetic. He was trembling. Without thinking, I lifted my face to meet his eyes. Why are you making that pitying face at me? I do not pity you. Or I do pity you, I think. Do you think I have any intention of living through this? You're planning to die? Dying wouldn't be too bad if I had a princess to come with me. You'd make a nice present for Nobumasa, who's waiting for me in hell. Well, enough with the conversation. Look at that spectacular sunset. It looks almost as if it were beckoning to us, no? Oh, I'm getting congested again. Hold on. I gotta pull my nose. Okay, sorry. Oh. The smile that twisted his features was like the smile of some very inhuman beast. No! Stop wriggling around. At least try to meet your death like a princess, Stop! Let go of me, no! As always, you are a disgraceful girl. I didn't care what he said. I wasn't going to meekly let myself be killed. Jin and the others had tried so very hard. I couldn't let all that go to waste. No! You think you can resist me with your woman's body? Well, if you want to struggle, go ahead. It's more amusing that way. He smiled wildly as he spoke. I fought back as hard as I could, but I couldn't even manage to get free of his arms. Well then, my guide to the underworld. Shall we be off? No! He took a step forward, and I, dragged along, had no choice but to do likewise. A strong wind whipped through my hair. I was going to die. I was really going to die. Die here, like this. Forced to die by someone I hated, without even telling the person I loved how I felt. I couldn't stand it. Jin! 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 Princess! Huh? You! What are you doing to the princess? Let go of her right now! And you are? Oh, I know. You must be one of the bodyguards who got in the way of my plans. Haramoto Ono? Indeed, I am. And your name is? Jinosuke Murasame. Jinosuke Murasame. By any chance, was it you who attacked my brother? I had no choice, so I fought him. I will remember your name. Hang on, princess. I'm coming to save you. Jin. Unbelievable. He had really come for me. He had heard my voice. You're coming to save her? You shouldn't tell jokes like that. You're about to find out if I'm joking or not. If you want to save her, then cut through the princess to get to me. He locked me in a crushingly tight embrace from behind as he spoke. I don't remember this music. Well, I think they're different songs. They're image songs for each of the characters. So they each get one. What do you think you're doing? I am not trying to run away. I was prepared for death from the moment I set this plan in motion. Now, Jinosuke Murasame, if you want to save the princess, then cut me down. Or should I jump and take her with me? What? What bull! If you want to die, you can jump on your own. But that would be meaningless. I am doing this so that the world will remember the name of Haramoto Ono, the man who sacrificed his life to rid the clan of this parasite. You selfish... And then there will be people who respect me, who adore me. One day there will be a Haramoto II and a Haramoto III. I will attain eternal fame. And you're going to kill an innocent princess just for that? Innocent? Don't make me laugh. For people born into power, incompetence is the greatest crime of all. What? You're a traveling warrior, aren't you? There's no way you could understand the terrible weight of duty. And it is the duty of the children of clan lords to behave as such, to think of their clan to be self-disciplined and behave virtuously. But this girl is nothing but a selfish brat. And the people around her do nothing but turn a blind eye. Do you call that virtuousness? But however tedious a creature she may be, the Lord's daughter is still the Lord's daughter. And no matter how talented someone is, if he is not born into nobility, then he is merely a stone by the wayside. But if the princess were gone, then I could use my talent to rise above my station and labor for my clan. That is true loyalty. I don't understand what you're saying at all. What? You're supposed to be smart, aren't you? If you're as clever as you think you are, you should be able to understand how to do things. But you were too good for that, weren't you? You tried to force your own justice on other people. You relied on violence and didn't give anyone a chance to talk. When people become that arrogant, they stop listening to other people's opinions. Can only hear the voices in their own head. You're not even recognizing what you really are. You're just using the clan like a toy to satisfy your own greed. My greed, eh? Assuming that's true, what difference does it make? What? Is it so wrong to want to move up in the world? From the moment I was born, I have always tried to go higher. As a person, as a man, aren't you like that yourself? Isn't that what you were thinking of when Hanawa hired you? This is my chance to get a government post. Uh-huh. Bullseye. That is what it means to be a man. That's true. I can't say I wasn't thinking of that at all, but still. Once I saw the princess trying her best to get through everything, I forgot all about that. I wanted to save the princess. That was all. Well, that and one more thing. I hate selfish jerks like you who pretend to be acting in the name of justice more than anything else. And those are your only reasons? Are you sure you haven't become infatuated with this girl? Huh? What? What a stupid thing to say! I'm not particularly infatuated or anything. Another bullseye! You fool! Weakened by a woman, typical vagabond. Whatever happened to your warrior's pride? You shouldn't have felt that way about me. Pride? I don't think liking a woman means that you lose your pride. In fact, I'm grateful that she would allow someone like me to feel this way about her. Jin. What nonsense. Think about who you are. Do you imagine that a clan princess would seriously have anything to do with a wandering warrior? Well, I don't know. But until we got back to the castle, I felt like we were both very important to each other. Oh my. You weren't hoping to marry the princess now, were you? A gust of wind punctuated the tense silence. Is that so wrong? Just because our stations in life are different, I can't love her? I can't dream? You idiot. Do you still not understand? Well, it makes no difference. Now be quiet and die. Die? You're the one who's going to die, Haramoto Ono. Paying no attention to the perilous footing, Jin began to step forward. Oh, you finally feel like killing me, but I'm afraid I've changed my mind. He slipped his hand inside his jacket and drew out a small bag. It was your bad luck to be standing downwind. Huh? Phantom Hell of the Three Demons. Die, you stray mongrel. Some sort of powder scattered from the open bag, drifting towards Jin. Jin's face suddenly contorted. Ah! What? Jin! You coward! Ah! A monster! No! Ah! Ah! His desperate scream pierced the air. What, Jin? What did you do to him? This is a drug from the far western lands, a devilish medicine that produces terrifying hallucinations, even in the tiniest doses. Jin! He can't hear you. Ah! Without warning, a shove sent me flying. I clung desperately to the tiles so as not to fall. You just stay here and wait patiently, and watch patiently. See how he dies. No, stop! Stop! I'm the one you want to kill, aren't I? So Jin has... He has nothing to do with it, huh? He was the one who killed Nobomasa, right? I won't forgive him. He hurt my brother. He slowly drew his sword and raised it, preparing to strike. The blade shone red in the fading sunlight. Jin was cowering on the roof, screaming and trembling. Ah! Stop! Jin was going to be killed. No, I couldn't let that happen. What could I do? I was struggling just to hold on to the roof. Ah! Jin! Nobomasa is waiting for you in hell. The sword swept further upwards. Stop, please, stop! I began to move unconsciously. I had to protect this important person, even if it cost me my life. I won't let you! Jin, if it was for his sake, I wouldn't be afraid of anything. This is the end. I drew a deep breath, swung my arms, and rushed headlong towards Haramoto. Take this! No! I aimed for Haramoto's back and ran into him as hard as I could. I won't let you do it! What? What are you doing, you brat? I won't let you kill Jin! What? Because I love him! Ah! We're all screaming now, clearly. The force of my impact made both of us lose our balance, and we went tumbling down the steep and slippery roof. Ah! Ah! I desperately dug in my nails so I would not fall, and with a terrible effort, I managed to catch hold of the eaves. Ah! Ah! When I looked at Jin, I saw that he was still screaming, but he was all right, at least. It didn't look like he'd been cut. Thank God. I pressed a hand against my chest in relief. Where's Haramoto? Where had he gone? I scanned the area around him and spotted him clinging to the roof with only his upper body. He's over there! Ugh! Haramoto's face was desperate. He was gripping his sword in his right hand. Haramoto, let go of your sword! You can't hold yourself up with just one hand! You just want to grab the sword and kill me! Do you think you can fool me with an obvious trick like that? No, you're going to fall! I stood, being careful not to slip, and advanced cautiously towards him. Stay away! What? So you think you've won, Hatsuhime? It's not about winning. Let me tell you something. You have no way to win against me. There's a little surprise hidden in this tower. What? I set things up so that when the sun sets, the gunpowder I hid in the watchtower will be lit, and the entire tower will go up in flames. Why would you? You should know that. I wanted to make this a monument so that my death will be remembered for all eternity. Think of Minamoto Yoshitsune and Oda Nobunaga. Great men must end their lives in a literal blaze of glory. I will follow their example. My death will not be in vain. I refuse to end my life miserably. My death will carve my name in history. I'm just panicking because you're cornered. Please calm down a little. Calm down? How could you possibly know? Stop acting so high and mighty. I know, I've never heard your name in my life. Did you come here just to mock me? You arrogant, you ignorant, selfish girl. No, I'm not somebody from this time. What? It's true. I was called here from the future to save the princess. I look like Katsuhime on the outside, but I'm Sayori. I'm really Sayori. Sayori? What nonsense. It's true. I do research for my school's history club, and I've never heard anything about you. I don't know that much, but I do know that the castle and the watchtower were lost in the war. The war? My grandmother told me that this area was bombed very heavily. Bombed? So please don't think that you'll be carving your name in history or anything like that. I'll beg Yahei to spare your life. You intend to tell me to spare the life of the man or you intend to tell him to spare the life of the man who tried to kill you? You're a talented man, aren't you? You can atone for your crime by working hard for our clan, right? She's exactly right. I looked back to see Jin standing up. Jin! Whoa! Still a bit dizzy here. Are you alright? Yeah, it looks like the effect of the medicine has worn off. Jin rolled his head in a circle and I turned back to Haramoto. I'm coming over to you, okay? Stay away! All your pretty talk. Did you think I would be fooled by a little girl? I won't be able to escape from execution. I'm not dead. Your plans never went beyond attempted crime. If I appeal on your behalf, you might be allowed to live. Don't give up hope. Princess. Samurai always makes such a big deal about being willing to die, but the courage to live is also important. I'm coming over too, so just hang on. Buffeted by the wind, we inched our way closer to Haramoto. Stay away, princess. Don't come over here. Stay away. Haramoto. The sun is setting. The fuse will be lit. Forget about me and run away. But, Chinosuke, take her and get out of here. Quickly. The Mochizuki clan must not lose her. Haramoto. Princess Hatsuhime. And Sayori, was it? Please forgive my terrible crime. Haramoto. I pray that you will create a fine Mochizuki clan. Farewell. What? Haramoto smiled briefly, then loosened his grip on the roof, sliding slowly downwards. Haramoto! No! I had launched myself after him without thinking, but Jin grabbed me from behind. Haramoto! Tears welled up in my eyes. I couldn't save him. We have to hurry. We can't let his death be in vain. Jin took my hand as if to urge me onwards. The sun was just about to slip away over the horizon. Ah! The roof rocked with the sound of the huge explosion, and I misstepped. What? Why did I do that? Princess! I was falling. The hand I desperately stretched out brushed against Jin's, and he grabbed hold of me bare inches before I fell. Ah! The pendant resting against my chest was jolted out from under my clothing. Ah! I was dangling in midair from the edge of the tower. Jin's right arm was my one lifeline. Ow! All of my weight was being supported by my left shoulder, and pain shot through me. When I sniffed, I could smell gunpowder, and I heard the sound of the flames below us crackling upwards. The watchtower was beginning to burn. Are you all right? Yes, what about you? Never mind about me. We have to. Jin flexed his arm and began to haul me upwards, very slowly. His face was twisted in a grimace of agony. Ugh! Ah! My field of vision suddenly rocked up and down. Sorry. My hand slipped. Jin! Ah! The medicine was still affecting him. It's nothing. Just hang on. I'll have you up in no time. Why do I feel so weak? He sounded almost indignant. Jin! His trembling fingertips dug into my wrist. His hand was warm but growing cooler, little by little. Enough! It's enough! What are you talking about? But at this rate you're going to... It's fine, I swear, I'm going to save you, so give it everything you've got. It's fine. This was very bad. Jin really was going to fall if he kept this up, and besides, the tower's on fire, so please, let go of my hand. Get away before the flames reach you. No, I'm not going to give up. You just said it yourself. Don't give up hope. Don't give up so easily. Jin, no matter what happens, I won't let you die. Jin, I finally found someone irreplaceable. So take my life. I give it all to you. I was grateful and happy, but I couldn't let someone so precious to me sacrifice himself. What did I need to say to make him let go of my hand? Jin, I love you. I love you too, Princess. But the truth is, I'm not really Hatsuhime. My name is Sayori. So, what you said before was true? Yes. I love you, Sayori. Regardless of whether or not you're a princess, I love you. He called me by my real name. I was overjoyed. I started to blink black tears. Thank you for saying my name. Hey, stop crying. I haven't given up yet. I know, because you're the sort of person who never gives up, Jin. That's right, I'm stubborn, and once I'm in love, I'll never let go. Never let go, Jin. Never let go. Right! Jin smiled brilliantly down at me. I thought once more how much I loved him. I wanted to look at him forever. If you keep staring at me like that, I'm going to start blushing. I want to memorize your face so I'll never forget. What do you mean? What did you mean by that? Jin, please. Let go of my hand. His eyes widened and then slowly narrowed to slits. He opened his mouth. Cut the crap! You just told me to never let go, didn't you? I don't... Stop being so selfish. I just want to save you, Sayori. To sacrifice yourself. Because you're the first person I've ever loved. Well, she's like 16. Well, I think she is. She's in high school. Sayori. Jin. A single tear splashed onto the jade surface of the pendant and split open. As it did... Her necklace. Huh? It was glowing, just like the time that it had brought me here. It was emitting a mysterious green-tinged light. It was the light of this pendant that guided me to the past. So that's how it happened. Maybe this means that the door is trying to open again. Huh? A large ring of light appeared beneath my feet, opening into a black void. So you really did come from here from the future. You doubted me? I could never doubt you. I want to believe everything you say. But seeing it with my own eyes like this, the truth is, I'm a bit surprised. Of course, I can hardly believe it myself. I still have no idea how it happens or why. Ugh! Jin's face was twisted in agony. I thought that the hand holding me up might be growing weaker. Jin... I'm fine. Sayori, answer me honestly. Does the future you live in a good world? Yes, I think it's a good world. There are no samurai, but everybody is free and equal. There are problems, but I think that if we try hard, we can fix them. Peasants and samurai and merchants, they're all equal? Yes. So a wandering warrior would be allowed to love a princess. Yes, it really is a good place. I see. Sounds like a wonderful world. Jin. And are princesses free to go out and have fun all night? Yes, wait, what? I just heard a strange voice from somewhere. I thought I just heard Hatsuhime's voice coming out of the pendant. The ring of light below me grew even wider and brighter. I could feel Jin's fingers trembling. Sayori, I'm sorry, I can't hold on anymore. Jin, let go of me. Let go of my hand. It's all right, though. I won't let you go by yourself. I don't know where that circle of light leads to or what will happen, but I won't let you go alone. If you're going to fall, let's fall together. Jin! My body swayed. Jin had reached his limit, and just as I realized this, he smiled at me. Let's go. If I'm with you, I won't be scared. Jin slipped down off the roof. Without him supporting me, I began to fall, and then Jin was embracing me. He held me tightly and tenderly as we plummeted towards the whirlpool of light. Jin. I screamed out his name, and he answered me wordlessly with his steady eyes. What do you think will happen to us? Well, I don't know. Are you frightened? No, I'm fine. Jin? Perfectly great. There was a certain warmth to Jin's smile. I buried my face in his chest like a small child and listened to the strong rhythm of his pulse. It felt wonderful. Jin, I love you. I love you so much. And I love you too, Sayori. This feels like a dream somehow. Yes. I didn't know just holding someone could make me this happy. Yes. The truth is, I was planning to take my reward and leave. Our places in life were different, and I wanted you to be happy. I see. You're not surprised? I was just thinking that sounds very like you. I guess so. They've been falling for a very long time. Jin, Sayori. They did it. They did it. Cassie, you called this like 10 minutes ago. Jin and I moved our faces nearer, and then I felt the heat of our lips pressing together, and I slowly closed my eyes. My heart was melting and my mind overflowing with emotion. Time seemed to stop and everything around me was glowing. Don't forget me. I never could. I don't look like Hatsuhime. As long as you're Sayori in your heart. I'm a little scared to show you my real face. I'm not a beauty like Hatsuhime. Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I'm the sort of person who cares about that? But men are all... Ah! I was drawn in close and my lips were covered. If you keep saying stupid things, I'm going to have to make you be quiet again. Jin. Sayori. My face will be different, but remember me, okay? As if I could forget. We stared at each other as if to engrave the memory in our hearts. Promise. Desperate not to be parted from Jin, I hugged him still more tightly. As if to answer me, he hugged me back. Promise that you won't forget. Yes. Rainbow-colored sparks were gathering around us. Oh, he checked out a long time ago. It was like, once we started going through again, he's like, I'm done. Sayori, where do you want to land? We had become a shooting star plunging towards the heart of a brilliant spiral, and then the portal opened, and the flames began to swallow the watchtower. Le jour de la destinée, I guess. The watchtower had suddenly been engulfed in flames. The efforts of the castle inhabitants to extinguish the fire had been fruitless, and the tower had kept burning until daybreak, when it finally crumbled. The castle grounds were littered with rubble, and the great crowds of people were bustling about, trying to clean up the mess. Among them was a certain group of men who were acting as a search party, Yo-Bo, Manzan, Itosai, and Muneshige, who had arrived at the castle late but unharmed. Yahei was with them. Princess! Princess! Jin? Miss? Hatsuhime, Jin! Where are you? Princess Hatsuhime! Sir Jin! I doubt you'll find them. But they have to be here somewhere. Think about the size of the fire. Search all you want. You're wasting your time. The princess and Jin are still alive. He's right. Jin's not the sort of guy who would give up that easily. Well, you may be right about that. So Yahei, they definitely fell somewhere around here, right? I was watching from below. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around here. And are you certain your eyes weren't playing tricks on you? Of course not! But... I'm not really sure what happened at the end. What do you mean? There was a ring of glowing light, and Jin and the princess fell into it and disappeared. Disappeared? I know that it couldn't really have happened, but they just flickered away like a mirage. A ring of light. A wormhole. Perhaps a wormhole opened and they fell into it and disappeared. A wormhole? Would it be easier to understand if I called it a twist in space and time? I still don't get it. All right. Spaceships frequently use warp technology to traverse space, right? Remember that bit of fan service in Yamato Battlecruiser where all the women lose their clothes after they warp? For fuck's sake, Manzan! Go away. They had an episode like that? I can't believe you remember that, Manzan. When Han Solo and everybody else came out of warp in the Millennium Falcon, they wound up in the asteroid field from the planet destroyed by the Death Star. Right. So does it operate on the same principles as a Stargate? Pretty much. Warp doesn't actually have to involve ridiculously fast motion, although they are often portrayed that way to heighten the drama. By entering a certain type of a hole in space, you can be transferred to a distant location in the space of an instant. Einstein believed that extreme mass and magnetic forces were capable of distorting time and space. Speculative science arrived at the idea of warp travel by expanding on that theory. Warp travel has not been invented yet, but someday it may be possible. So basically you're saying that Jin and the lady were warped somewhere. Yes, or I suppose you could say that they were spirited away. Heaven forbid, but if they really did die. I can't imagine that we could have searched this much and not found anything. We certainly found Haramoto Ono, after all. It seems to me that they entered a wormhole and were taken elsewhere, to a different world. That would explain why they disappeared in a ring of light. Okay, I get it. But I'm still going to keep searching. Jin, where are you? I will not give up either. Princess Hatsuhime. So in the end, we keep searching. They resumed their hunt, and then, at last... Huh? Is this? Princess Hatsuhime! At the sound of Muneshige's overjoyed voice, everybody turned to look. What? Princess Hatsuhime! Princess! And she lay collapsed in a hidden corner of the garden, and they all rushed towards her. Miss, are you okay? Check her pulse. Yes. Muneshige quickly pressed his fingers to her wrist, and then turned around. She's all right. She has lost consciousness, but she is still alive. Oh, thank goodness. I thought. You thought that she was dead. Don't even say that. But she's safe, and that's what's important. Jin. Where's Jin? Hatsuhime awoke, cradled in Muneshige's arms. Princess, are you awake now? Miss? She stretched her arms and then rubbed her hands around her eyes in a somehow cat-like gesture. Princess, do you know who I am? Princess! Princess! Be quiet! You don't have to be so noisy! Huh? I can hear and see all of you just fine. Miss? Did something happen? You seem changed somehow. Yes, the appearance is the same, but the attitude is completely different. No, it is Hatsuhime, without a doubt. This is the Hatsuhime that I know. Wah. You're crying, Sir Yahae. You're holding back tears yourself. I thought that she'd finally learned to behave herself, but... As did I. I'm happy that it all worked out, but... Are you two saying that you prefer Sayori? Ooh, you are so on my list. No, nothing of the sort. What do you mean when you say Sayori? Oh, never mind about that. Just listen to me. Did you hit your head or something? Don't be stupid. Still, it feels good to be able to be awake after such a long time. Huh? No, never mind that. Anyway, Yo-Bo, Itosai, Manman, Muneshige, and Yahe. Good work, all of you. I'm just glad you're safe. But what about Jin? Don't worry, Jin's alive. Huh? Where is he? Nowhere around here. I don't know where he is, but I am certain that he's alive. Could you be a bit more specific? I don't know much more myself. Oh? All I can say is that he's someplace very far away. That's about it. You're not going to give us some punchline like he's eternally alive in my heart or something, are you? No. Well, you may actually be pretty nearby. You did hit your head. Somebody send her to the hospital. She's gone insane! The princess has become a lunatic. Quiet, you! Don't treat me like an idiot! Anyway, Jinosuke is alive. Just believe me. Hatsuhime stood angrily and thrust out a finger. A gentle smile floated across her adorable lips, and then she said firmly, He's alive, and he's with that girl! Huh? That girl? Yes! Sayori, the kind and brave girl who saved my life. Again with the Sayori. Sayori, is that some sort of code? All clear tonight or something? It's a name. Ah, the key to the mystery. I have no idea what's going on. Sorry, but it's my little secret. Peace. Peace. Drawn in by Hatsuhime's carefree smile, the entire group sheepishly made peace signs. What did I just do? Hirosai lamented his moment of carelessness, and Hatsuhime remained the only one who knew about the girl who had come from the distant future, brought by the power of the mysterious convent. Thanks to her, she had been able to escape from the death she had been destined for. Thank you. Hatsuhime imagined that other girl so far away from her. In her mind, there was a young man standing beside her, a man who had not been born a samurai, but who was still a truer samurai than anyone else. Be happy, both of you. She wished this from the bottom of her heart. The cicadas nearing the end of their lifespan were chirping with the last of their strength. There was something lonely in their shrill, clamoring voices, as if they were warning that summer was almost over. The sun was still strong, but the shadows it cast on the earth seemed weaker somehow. I was drifting off again. This wasn't the time to be getting maudlin over the seasons. I had to hurry, or I was going to be late for class, and I could hardly be late on the first day. The long summer vacation had ended yesterday. It had already been 10 days since I had returned. The city bustled on around me. I had been wearing the pendant constantly from the moment that I had returned. Maybe I had been destined to hit the ground and die, but the pendant had saved me and returned me to my own world. When I regained consciousness, I was surprised to realize that no time had passed since Hatsuhime had appeared. I had found myself in my bed, staring blankly at the pendant lying on the floor. The next morning, I woke up and ate breakfast, just like I always did. I went to the castle ruins, chatted with my friends, got yelled at by the club president, and went back home to eat dinner. As I slipped back into everyday life, I decided to pretend that it had been all been a dream. It certainly defied all common sense. I could never see him again anyway, no matter how badly I wanted to. Jin. Where had he gone? Maybe I was the only one who had been brought to this world, and he had just kept on falling. Maybe somebody from that time couldn't exist here. If he really had fallen, he probably hadn't survived, not from that height. Trapped by these thoughts, unable to shake off my gloom, I fell into a depression. I tried to think of other possibilities. Maybe he'd wound up in a different time. The thought allowed me to think that Jin might be alive, and revived my spirits a little. But the pain of being parted from him was immense. I didn't even know where he was. It was difficult. Jin. I thought of the strength in the hands that had grasped me when I had been thrown from the castle, the sensation of his lips against mine, his sighs, his heartbeat, his scent. I had far too many memories. I wanted to see him. I wanted to see him just one more time. Or maybe it really had been just a dream. If it had been a dream, then these feelings should have disappeared with it. Then I wouldn't have had to feel this pain, like my heart was being squeezed dry. Will I ever be able to forget you? If I can forget, I thought, then please, let me forget as soon as possible. It was just too painful. I have to forget. Way back when, there had been a guy I liked, but I never let him know how I felt. In the end, nothing happened and I forgot him. I brooded over him too. This time, I should try to think of something else. I was going to stop thinking of nothing but him. But it was the first time anyone had loved me back. How could I possibly forget the person I had shared those feelings with? I just didn't understand. I couldn't even make up my mind. But still, I couldn't stay moping around here forever. It was time to go to school. Maybe I'd feel a little bit better if I were with my friends. Maybe in all the endless tedium of ordinary life, even this would eventually become a happy memory. Okay, let's go. If I didn't hurry, I really was going to be late. The light turned green and I threaded my way through the dense crowds of commuters. My shoes drummed against the pavement. I'm sorry. I was trying to go in the opposite direction as everybody else. Some businessman in a suit was scowling in my direction. I'm sorry. I was distracted by the man next to me, and in that moment... Ow! I'm so sorry. I was in a hurry, and I wasn't looking where I was going. Why did it have to be at a time like this? I'd really hit the guy hard. Fortunately, he didn't seem mad about it, but... Anyway, I apologize. I'm really sorry. It's fine. It's not like I'm hurt or anything. But anyway, are you alright? Yes, I really am sorry. I bowed deeply in apology before looking up at his face. Huh? Huh? What? No way! Is there something on my face? What should I do? Maybe it was just his doppelganger or something. I looked straight into his eyes, trying to make sure. He stared right back at me. Your eyes. It had all begun one day in the peak of summer. Are you? The mysterious power of the pendant that I had found in the castle ruins had transported me to the past. Just the other day, I bumped into someone who changed my destiny. That was 150 years ago. That was where I had met him. Jin? And where we had fallen in love. Yes? Where the two of us had stopped time. You idiot, Jin! You idiot! Why didn't you come sooner? I was so worried. Sayori? You idiot! He caught the fist that I was beating against his chest and covered my lips with his. It was almost painful, that moment when we slowly brought our lips apart after a long, long kiss. I pressed my cheek against his chest. Just being like this made a sense of euphoria feel well up within me. I had been able to meet him one more time. Sorry, at first I didn't even know where I was. I was alright. He'd come to a different world after all. Of course, he had been bewildered. I certainly was at first. Jin. There are no samurai anymore. I was a little bit disappointed. Jin. But, like you said, everyone is equal here in the future, right? And there's freedom, for instance. The freedom to kiss in front of other people. I'd completely forgotten that we were in the middle of a crosswalk. The light had changed and cars were honking loudly all around us. Hey! What are you doing? Get out of the way! Jin, we have to hurry up and cross. I started moving towards the other side of the road, but Jin grabbed my hand and pulled me back. Forget about them. I'm sorry to be in such a rush, but it's been 150 years since I last saw you. Jin, there's so many things I want to say to you. A solemn expression stole over his face. Yes. Well, what I mean is, basically, Yes? Jin looked straight at me and gripped my hand firmly, and then he smiled, clear and bright as the summer day, or summer sky. I love you, and I'm never letting you go again. I love you too, Jin. I flew into his arms. As if to prove our feelings, we embraced each other tightly and began to kiss once more, as if to make sure that we would never be apart again. By the way, what were you doing in a place like that? Huh? I wanted to see the Suehiracho district of Akihabara at least once. It's supposed to be a dating mecca, right? I wouldn't really know. So, shall we go there for our first date? Are you sure? Weren't you in a hurry, Sayori? No problem. I finally get to see you again. Nothing's more important to me than spending time with you. Okay, so we'll go to Suihiro-cho for our first date, huh? Right. That's all, folks. Good night. And there's that was it. That was it. She ain't going to class today. She ain't going to class. God, why is it so loud in the credits? Alright, so it's over. We can get back to playing horror games now so the BB-10 can be happy. I don't know, I really liked this visual novel. I know the second half is way more romance focused. But I think it's actually pretty good for an otome game. I think it's pretty good. These this was released in like 2003, so this is totally, I don't know. The vocals are like. I don't know about the vocals. Oh, Mune Shige song. His name's Mune Shige.
My God.
I think it is a very entertaining movie. This is one of the very first otome I ever played. I think it was this, and then Hakuoki. Hakuoki on the DS. Oh, yeah. So we get a nice good shot of Jin.